Wait, shit. Oh. This is a mess. We didn't set this up for.
Oh my god.
We didn't
Well,
get this set up for the interview or for the.
Maddie F, you know, dropping the correct response to
exactly
the mess.
This is gonna be a little bit of a mess tonight, folks. What? This is gonna be a mess because we're doing a little bit of a different setup, and I didn't take the time to make sure it was perfect because there's just too many moving parts, man.
How's everybody liking our new intro? That's gonna be the intro from now on.
That's how it is.
It's abstract. It's a little bit abstract.
A little bit wonky. We're kind of trying something different with it. But welcome. There is no intro sequence for this particular episode because we. Well, let's introduce the show first, I guess.
Welcome to DrawBomb.
It's a show where we came up with something last episode.
Yeah, what was that?
It started off normal. I was like, it's welcome to DrawBomb. It's a show where we draw.
Something about
it's a
bang,
blast.
I think.
It's a blast.
It's a blast, right?
You draw and it's a blast. Yeah, that's what meant. Okay. So yeah, that's the tagline if we can remember it. Welcome to DrawBomb.
That's the most difficult part about a tagline is remembering it.
That's the whole game. Like Urkel's classic phrase, "Did I create this sequence of events?"
I like when Steve Urkel was like, "Dynamite!"
That's right. Is that racist?
No, I hope not. Honestly, the only reason I went to that is because I was at work the other day doing something, and I overheard some of the cooks being like, one went "Dynamite," and it was like, "Oh yeah," and he's like, "Wait, what show's that from?" And the other guy's like, "Wasn't that Steve Urkel?" And he's like, "Yeah, I think so." And then I was like, I was over there going, "Good times, good times," and they were just like not hearing me in the room yelling the answer to them.
Very funny.
And I just kept yelling "good times." So that's that.
So they were the racists.
I guess so.
That's what it was.
I guess so.
So this episode's gonna be a little different today. Because we've been planning on doing a special episode that's been a little different for a while now of the show.
It's true.
But we're just too lazy to actually like get off our asses, get off my case, but get off our asses and like actually make the shit that we need to for this special episode. So I thought, let's just do it on air. And then we
only agree to work on DrawBomb related things for 2 hours a week, and then just the rest of our schedule is fully booked.
Just fucking packed to the brim. We got so much Forza to play.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Got too much Forza to play. You know, I was so busy getting everything all set up for this this episode that I didn't actually realize I had to really go to the bathroom before I started the episode.
You better go right now.
Let's get this episode off with a bang, and I'll be right back. But we're not going to go to the
It's
right
not
back
a secret
screen.
what we're planning on, right? Can I explain that while you're gone?
Oh yeah, go for it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. So we're getting some assets ready. Ready for. We're gonna be doing a Dungeons and Dragons episode soon. It's gonna be improv, but live, and we're gonna do puppets, kind of like we did with Two Dicks on the Beat. If you've seen that, if you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, so today we're going to be working on making puppets and animations and getting some stuff ready so that we can have some really fun antics soon. Yeah, but we just thought it'd be fun to hang out with all of you while we're working on it. This is going to be my character, Branthor. He will have arms. He's not an armless character, although that would make for a very interesting campaign. But we're going to draw the arms separate so that we have like a rudimentary system that will probably need some editing, but like it's so that we can give them weapons and different gear as time goes on the best we can without having to like remake full animations on the fly. Because we want it to be kind of fluent, or not fluent, but like fluid, so that we can actually play a game without there being these giant like pauses while we create new drawings. But yeah, it should be pretty fun. Welcome back. They're all caught up. They know everything now.
Excellent. I'm glad to hear it. I see that Matt's like, I've heard of Ian, but Pian, buddy.
Did any
I've heard that my entire
go
life.
ahead.
I've heard that.
I was gonna say, have any mean kids gotten you with that when you were young?
No, thankfully when I was young I'd already established myself as being a bit of a brainiac. So some folks called me Neutron, but no one called me Pian, thankfully. But I did get called Ethan a whole bunch, which, you know.
Unintentionally or?
Unintentionally, yes, but...
Yeah.
And
I get a lot of variations of Brandon, and then I just don't take the time to correct people because I just don't care enough.
Yeah.
After a while, I realized Brian or Brennan or Brendan, and I'm just like, yep, that's me.
After a while, it was like, I just realized it was like an uphill, but it was like a Sisyphus trying to roll a boulder up the hill. I just stopped trying to correct people because I was like, if you've never heard the name Ian before, it's just not going to stick now, so.
Zone Dog in the chat as well. Welcome. You need to oil your microphone arm, Ian.
Yeah, I do.
It was like,
screech! It's not good.
It sounded like somebody dragging an old, like rusty, like, I don't know. I don't even know what. I don't even have time to come up with a simile for that.
It's like basically horror sound effects. It just goes like,
yeah.
So, so have you like you told them the whole thing, like you've told them like what we're working on, like what's on each of our screens right now?
Yeah. The ultimate goal is Dungeons and Dragons game that we can play live. So we're working on puppets and other assets and things of that nature.
And yeah, I'm working on puppets for us when we're out of character talking.
Yeah, so like every once in a while we'll go back to the table.
Us talking
That's
at the
nice,
table.
I like that.
Thank you. This is you.
Oh, really? Well, I take it back. It's not as good. I thought... Who's that on the right?
You're the one on the right. It's
Oh, well, when you said this is you, you were... Only you were on the screen.
Right, I'm not sharing my screen with you, so you get like that delay. So, and if I did share my screen with you, it would cause a mess. Which is an issue, but...
Okay, well, I think you did great. It looks like us.
Thank you. And then wait 10 seconds and then look over, because this is Matt.
Oh, there he is. And that looks like him, too.
Yeah, so... Working on this.
Matty F referencing Harmontown there. That's... In the beginning of the show, they would play DnD a lot at the end of the show, but then like it became a segment that they tried to do every episode, but most of the people on the show were too like hammered by the time they got to it that it would just be a mess half the time.
Oh boy.
But then half the time it was really funny. I mean, and a lot of times when it was a mess, it was still funny too. So I don't know. But the guy running the game was reasonably frustrated a lot of the time.
I am sure. Yeah. I have to imagine that this game would be funnier the more of a mess it is.
Possible, yeah.
Might incorporate a 2-drink minimum for this game. I'm just kidding. We don't need drinks to have fun.
Yeah. We don't need to take our clothes off to have a good time.
That's right. What song is that? Who's that? Who made that song?
I don't know her name. I could look it up. But I haven't started drawing anything yet, so I feel like I should.
Yeah, you don't gotta. Somebody will in the chat will let us know.
Alright. Get to animating.
Right. So Brandon, I mean, aside from actually doing like a different like drawing setup, we could still basically do the same show. Like we could like.
Yeah, I imagine the conversation aspect will be the same.
Yeah. So what's been new for you this week?
Let's see. I hung out with my dad yesterday. Finally got to meet him. Seems like a nice guy. No, I'm just kidding. But no, my parents came to visit. He finally
came back for with those cigarettes and that carton of milk.
It turned out he wasn't lying. He had a ton of cigarettes. He'd just been collecting them for all this time. Pulled up with a truck and he's like, I finally got him!
I found the batch!
Tell me everything! Boy, it's been a while. yeah, got to see him. That was good. We've just been doing some wedding planning stuff. I know I say it so much; it's so boring now at this point. But we like
boring motherfucker. God.
Designed our invitations, and I got some bachelor party stuff planned, and yeah, it's all coming together.
Well,
how about
very
you, Ian? What's
nice.
your week been like?
My week, God, you know, what do I say that's different from the other times I've spoken? Gosh.
What do you even say?
Yeah, I don't have a whole lot that's gone on in my life. Just been here working on shit, and then sometimes playing the video games. That's it.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
I'm all about that.
This is my life.
Real quick for my animation, I'm thinking I'm gonna make this character bob a little bit, but since his arms are separate, I don't want him to be moving too much, so that they get all like mixed up and not like synced up.
Right. Well,
So,
yeah.
I'm gonna have him move just ever so slightly.
Okay.
Ever so slightly.
Yeah, with the arms. Do you think we should have it? So we were talking about making the arms a separate animation, but I just had a thought that might make our lives a little bit easier. We have two different versions of the same animation. One is with the arms attached, and then one is where we have the arms disappeared, and that's when we draw new stuff on the arms. So we don't make the arms two separate puppets, we just have two separate puppets that we switch between. How does that work out for you?
Sure.
Does that make sense? Is what I'm saying making sense?
It does make sense. I'm just laughing because I saw in the chat Zone Dog redeemed. Talk about this, and the topic is shapes.
Oh, okay.
Ian, what's your favorite? And then he's sad that we didn't talk about it. What's your favorite shape, Ian? If visually pleasing, when you look at a certain shape, what one are you like? Yeah.
I'm a big fan of the
really
parallelogram.
Parallelogram. Wow.
Big fan. It's a fun name. It's a fun shape to say. Fun shape to draw.
You like the name more than the actual shape.
I do a little bit. I used to have
just a full package.
Well, it's the full package in my opinion, but I did used to have like Jumpstart 3rd grade when I was a kid, like those old educational computer games, and one of them you were like a lion and you had to like make your way to the top of this evil tower. And one of the games was you had to like run into certain shapes, and then they'd be like parallelogram, and I would be like ha 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 ha.
What does that even mean?
Yeah, what the fuck is a parallelogram?
That's not real.
I think that's bullshit.
I like... Man, what's the best shape? You know? I like the classics. I like just a good old triangle.
Dog, yo, triangles are sick, dude.
They're like pointy, and they're like... But they know who they are, you know. I love a triangle.
I can't do the zoom-ins. The zoom-ins are fucked right now, but dude, that's sick.
I love a triangle, bro.
Dude, ha 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 ha. That's sick, dude. Ha 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 ha. I hate how like not very far away from ha 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 my like actual like
you're like a few degrees away from being Tommy Wiseau.
Mm-hmm. Like a Tommy Wiseau or like shitty like Cali Surfer, dude. Like my bemused chuckle is not very far off from ha 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 ha. Or like Bobby Bottle Service from the Kroll Show, like ha 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 ha. Yo, Bobby Bottle Service. Yo, I would very much like to be part of your Dungeons and Dragons game, cause you know my mom. That's my terrible body bobble service.
Bobby Bobble Bobble.
Dabba babby dabba boo. What have you done this week, Brandon? What fucking good are you? What have you done this week?
I have, you know, like when it rains, it pours, and right now I've been having a lot of work, like commissions and stuff. So I've just been knocking out a bunch of those, planning some stuff, seeing some family, working my day job. I don't know, just boring stuff, honestly. Haven't done anything too cool. Trying to think if I've done anything. Sorry, I'm sorry. That's like being played off the stage. Sick. Yeah, that's awesome.
Dude,
Don't want to hear any more about that.
That's like the cane that comes out and like yoinks it. You know? What? Dude, sick. Oh. But no, but keep telling us. I'm sorry. Go right ahead.
I think that's about it. You
Okay.
you pulled the cane at the right point.
Okay. Did say.
How about you? I mean, I know we kind of just asked you that.
Yeah, I feel like I just asked you like the same question, but you at least had a slightly different
I
answer.
did my best to answer it again.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but I sometimes have you ever done that? Have you ever like asked somebody how they're doing, and then you like get a little bit into the conversation, and then like you ask them again like how they're doing, like you feel like well, it's
Like,
just
oh shit, they probably think I wasn't listening the first time.
yeah, it's just like awkwardness, socially
Oh
awkwardness.
shit, now they
or-
know I wasn't listening the first time.
No, it's not even that. It's like sometimes you say, I feel like what it is like sometimes you say how's it going when you first say hi to somebody, and you know you give like the whole I'm fine, how are you, and that's fine, and then like a little bit further into the conversation, maybe you're just like how are you doing, maybe you're hoping to get more of a in-depth answer, but you also gave an in-depth answer the first time around. But I think I'm just a socially awkward motherfucker. Is really what it comes.
We
down
all
to.
are. It's just some hide it better than others.
Yeah.
Here's something. My first how's it going, I'm not actually asking you. That's my hello.
Yeah.
Later I might ask you how's it going, and now I'm invested in your life. The first time, I'm just saying hello.
That's me too, and I think that's really where the difficulty comes in, is that it's disingenuous, I guess, the first how's it going, but it's not like you can still say a lot in that like first answer you give. It's just, you know, I'm not asking for your life story. I'm asking like your general like how's your mood right now, you know.
If I say how's it going and you come back with like a lot of information right off the bat, I'm usually surprised. I'm not like upset about it because I asked, but I'm a little bit surprised. I'm like, oh,
Yeah. Oh.
okay.
We're having an actual answer right now.
Yeah, I see what's happening here.
Yeah. Yeah, we've discussed the how's it going before too, like the greeting conversational how's it going, and
Chat, what's your favorite shapes? Drop
your
those
favorite
answers in the chat.
drop
I wanna know
your
what the best
favorite
shape is.
shapes in the chat. We gotta know your favorite shapes. If we don't know your favorite
Yeah.
shapes, how are we supposed to cater to
We
you?
we don't even know you
Yeah,
until we know your shape.
we don't know your fucking shapes. Like, what are we even doing here? You know? What are we even doing here?
What are we doing?
What are we doing? Brandon, have you been playing any video games, or watching any movies, or reading any books, or listening to any music?
Yes, yes, no, yes. So there you go.
Wow, good answers. Great job. Great job.
Let's see. Games I've been playing. I've been playing a lot of Metal Gear Solid, Phantom Pain. I don't remember what's it called.
Pain, I'm pretty sure.
5. I've been playing a lot of 5. That's been fun. It's like a nice like sandbox version of Metal Gear Solid. And
do
I've
wanna
been
play it.
meaning to like play through it. I've kind of like dabbled a little bit. Like honestly, where I'm at now in the game, I've gotten further before, but I still feel like I haven't scratched the surface. But I'm just trying to finally actually play through it. So
Nice.
yeah, that's a thing. We're playing that. What else? What else? I've been playing some V Rising with good friend of the show, Leviathan Den.
Whose favorite shape is
vampires.
icosahedron?
Oh wow, great choice, great choice.
Very good.
And that's been pretty fun. Speaking of which, we do have a dedicated server if any friends of the show would like to bite stuff with us. We can all bite and suck together, it'll be great.
Are those the words you want to use?
Did I stutter?
No. I was just really hoping you had. Go ahead, continue.
Yeah, so that's fun. What else? We've been playing some Wildlands again because that's working again. I'm excited to play more of that with you, and definitely we got to play with Maddie F soon.
Maddie F said let's play things this week, so that's gonna be one of them. I'm assuming.
Have your people call our people. I'm dying to kill drug lords with you.
Yeah, we gotta go shoot some drug.
Yeah, and then I don't know. I'm pretty like eclectic when it comes to video games. I have like 10 different games I play at a time. I just like shuffle through whatever I'm feeling like.
Yeah, I'm the same way. you can't just play one game. You know, one game. You know, it's you can't just. You know, yeah. You know, we can't.
I know what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? No, we can't just play one game. We're not one. You know, we're not monogamous. We're not monogamous. Am I right? Am I right?
You're something.
Am I right though? Am I right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
You're right.
I like
I'm just
it.
getting whatever use I can get out of it.
No, you might as well. You took the time to do it. But yeah, I mean, I've been playing a little bit of Outer Worlds because my computer can like run that shit. Yeah. I'm enjoying it. It's fun. I'm curious how Starfield is gonna stack up to it. I guess Starfield is more ambitious. But I like
this better. I mean, I liked Outer Worlds, what I played of it, but it feels like kind of like Fallout Light.
It feels closer to Knights of the Old Republic for me. Like,
okay,
like first person Knights of the Old, like if Knights of the Old Republic had Fallout gameplay, but like Knights of the Old Republic's like scope, you know, because like when I saw the star map in the game, the amount of planets I could go to looked about similar to Knights of the Old, and then like apparently there's more than one landing pad, which kind of brings you to a different sort of map, but it's on the same planet technically. So I'm on like the same planet as the beginning, but it's a different landing pad, which is a whole different like area. So that's interesting. But overall, the reduced scope for a space game should feel like a letdown. But for me, because it's like such a I'm actually kind of more excited for it because the reduced scope means it's going to be a more focused experience, and so far it has been.
That's true. That's very true.
And so I'm kind of I'm just kind of taking my time going through that game, doing like I'm just like turning every stone. Yeah, I mean the writing in it is much more enjoyable than I think in any Bethesda game I've ever played. The writing in it.
I would agree with that. Yeah.
So overall, it's like it is like Fallout with like much less in it. But in my opinion, that's a good thing, and I think what is being focused on in the game is solid. And I'm not very, very far into it. I'd say I assume I'm still in like the first third of the game, because again I'm taking my time, just like leaving no stone unturned. But it's a fun, solid. I haven't like come into any situations where I'm like, this is a mess. This game is like fucking held together with. It feels like a very solidly put together game because of I think that reduced scope.
Some of the I didn't play far, but I also thought some like the performances and stuff were pretty fun.
Yeah, and like the gunplay is so much more gratifying than in Fallout because Lexus the internet corner says, I got a Honda ad. Yo, what's up? Welcome. Thanks for joining us. This is DrawBomb.
Yeah, we're sponsored by Honda.
Yeah, Honda, they wanted us to tell you to get the new turbocharged Honda battery.
Ian, when you got a place to go, what takes you there? I just was curious. This is just a genuine question.
Oh, I ride bike.
Yeah, I also drive a Honda, so you guys are on the same page. The Honda Accord is a mixture of comfort and value that you really can't find anywhere else on the market. Would you agree?
Yeah, I think their
you
seats,
would agree.
Yeah, their seats are good, comfortable.
Mm-hmm. And you don't have to pay a monthly fee to warm them up.
You don't have to pay a monthly fee to warm your seats. That's correct. Unlike
not yet.
Brands that we won't mention titled Bumwa. I don't know how you say it. Bumwa? Is that what they're Bumwa?
Bumwater.
Bumwa.
Yeah,
Bumwa.
That's what it is.
The heated seat chart. How many seats does it have? Well, gosh, that's the fun part. It starts out with 2, but you can unfold the row of seats behind it to create
They're locked
4
shut.
to 6. And maybe 8 if you like really want to squeeze a bunch of people in there in an unsafe manner.
Exactly. Are we talking legally or
no? We're
illegally?
Talking out of the bounds of legality now a little bit, but that's okay.
Okay,
Honda knows. Honda knows. Honda's okay with it.
Yeah.
And then behind that, you got another row of seats. that you can extend again to create another additional 2 to 4 seats, to possibly an additional 6 seats, which again, not legal, but Honda knows that sometimes you got to pack a bunch of people into a van, so you can look forward to that sort of savings on space. Yeah, the Honda turbocharged battery.
Lexus says, how many clowns does it fit? However many you want.
Yeah,
you got a lot of clowns to haul? You're in luck.
Just gotta make sure you drive over a hole in the ground, I think is how that works. Isn't that how that works? Is they drive over like something in the ground? How does the clown car trick work?
Clowns can squish really good. It's not a trick. It's all
actually,
real.
They're all actually packed into that tiny ass car.
Clowns are liquid, and actually, if they press tight enough together, they become one large clown.
Dude, check it out. I'm drinking liquid clown. That's right, dude. Liquid clown is all the vitamins and nutrients you need to turbocharge your day. Clown.
Let's get goofy.
let's get goofy is the worst name for a drink ever.
That's not the name for the drink. That's the slogan.
No, the tagline. I mean, that's what I meant. The catchphrase. Let's get goofy.
Oh, but it seems like you said it was the worst. That can't be right.
I meant to say worst. It's the best. It's the worst. It's not the best. It's the worst. Let's get goofy is not a drink I want to drink. That sounds like I'm gonna fucking like get drugged.
Well, yeah. There's some psychoactive ingredients in the clown drink.
Lexus says, yeah, I think they fit in there. There's no trick. Oh my gosh.
Exactly. Yep, there you go.
That explains why clown traffic accidents are so severe.
Right, yeah. One fender bender and like, that's like 50 people with whiplash.
50 clowns dead in a 1-car pileup.
That joke has to have been done 1,000 times.
I feel like Arrested Development probably did that joke or some shit. I don't know. Lies, says Lexus, probably to saying that let's get goofy is the worst tagline.
Once they take off all their shoes and their like oversized pants and stuff, they're a lot smaller than they appear to be.
They they go Japanese style in the clown cars.
Is that scan anymore? I mean, phone booths don't really
allow you to keep your shoes on.
Oh, Japanese style. I thought, well, there was this like trend of like.
What did you think I meant?
Japanese people. There was like this some Japanese group held the record of squeezing into a phone booth.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know that. I thought I was talking about taking the shoes off when you go in the house.
That makes a lot more sense.
Is this like the give it the old college try thing, but you thought that doing it Japanese style meant you try and squeeze as many people as you can into a phone booth?
I've never heard that phrase before, if that is a phrase.
I don't know if it is a phrase. Maybe I was being racist, but I just, it's like a cultural thing in Japan, and I think other, sort of East Asian countries where you take your shoes off when you enter their house. I do it too just because it's fucking comfortable, and you don't track mud and shit everywhere. I feel like that's common courtesy, right? Yeah, it makes the most sense. But that's very funny. Was the give it a college try thing, was that like when we were just playing games by ourselves, or was that on the show?
I think it was alone, and then I think I made fun of you live on the show later.
Okay, but I feel like I should give it another. I used to think that give it the old college try was like having like
experimenting sexually.
experimenting sexually in college.
Like,
it does not mean that.
Sure, I'll try some other stuff.
I'll suck that dick. I don't know.
I mean, okay, so one, it doesn't mean that specifically, but you could use that phrase to describe that.
You could, yeah.
It means like, I'm gonna do my best.
Yeah, you're gonna just try something new, because, college is a time to try new things. Also, Lexus asks how many not how many clowns were in the phone booth, how many people were in the phone booth. Do you know the record? Was it like 50 people?
I don't know. I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna look it up right now. Most people in a phone booth. Okay, and also I'm wrong. South Africa now holds the record.
As of how recently? When they pulled this off?
Oh wait, this is 1959. So wait, is that right? That
I
can't be
mean,
right.
it's got to be hard to set a phone booth record nowadays, right?
Yeah, how do you get past the initial record?
How do you get?
And they're
how do
not
you,
around anymore.
How do you find a phone booth? You know?
You have to have one custom made.
Yeah. Get Banksy
Anyways,
on the
whatever.
line.
Seems I'm mixed up. Regardless, the record is 25 people were in one.
That's a lot of people.
They all died.
They all died.
Yeah.
When a car backed into
Fire
it.
department had to be called.
They
So
all
nobody could reach the
congealed.
buttons of the phone.
Someone call 911. We're in a phone booth.
Who's closest to the phone part?
No one is.
Every time I pull the phone off, all the buttons get pressed simultaneous's because someone's body is pressed.
Water everywhere, but not a drop to drink.
At least is like the Guinness record guy here to track this? And oh shit, we forgot to call them too.
I knew we forgot a step. Alexa says, I mean, to be fair, anyone trying to get the record for how many you can squeeze into a phone booth must be a clown. Yeah, accurate. Like,
A bunch of clowns.
get a bunch of clowns. Yeah. Phone booths. Where are they even anymore? Do you think you could find a phone booth if you could go to like any spot in the world? Like
I'm
you had
sure.
like you could drop in to any like particular location, like any geographical coordinates.
Yeah. There's gotta be some like real rural areas where there's like no cell phone service and not a lot of landlines. I know it seems hard to imagine, but there's gotta be like some like
Yeah.
swamp people that live out there or something like that.
I feel like it's also like it's got to be like a safety thing. Like somebody has to like. I feel like metropolitan areas might have to like provide some sort of means of like they do have like police boxes at like college campuses where you just like it's like a kiosk and you press a button and you know it calls campus police or real police, so you don't have to have your phone on you. I have to assume that some places provide at least like. Maybe not like a payphone like in a phone booth, but like maybe like a payphone in a train station or something like that, you know?
Some way to contact someone so that's not like, oh, your battery died, now you're just shit out of luck.
Yeah, exactly. So I guess it would be a lot harder if it was like a phone that you could, a public phone in general, but a phone booth specifically would be something.
Makes sense to me. Let's see how this sucker animates. Do 3 layers? I feel like I just messed something up. Hold on.
Uh-oh. Oh no. So, we've been playing the new Forza DLC.
That's true. That's the true thing that we've been doing.
Hot Wheels themed.
What are your thoughts on it so far?
It's fine. It's more Forza. I don't know. I'm not blown away. I think the opening like drive where they give you this insane car and then like have jets and shit flying all over you is super duper fun. I think they call those like the showcase races, because you know showcases. That was super duper fun and cool, and I was like really high when I played it, so that was really fun. But in general, I mean, I don't know. It just feels I'm not like wowed. It's just more Forza, more racetrack. Like it looks cool, but it doesn't quite like the wow factor kind of like of the visuals. All disappears pretty quick, I would say.
Yeah, it's pretty simple, but it's fun. I mean, Forza has always been like kind of arcadey, so these Hot Wheels tracks are kind of like the best of that.
Yeah, it's very Trackmania.
Yeah, which I like. So I mean, I'm not against it really.
Yeah.
I still haven't like you've played every, you played the base Forza from nut to butt. You've
I
played
pretty
it all.
much did, yeah.
So
I got
so
like all
you might be a little more like in need of something fresh. I'm still kind of like, this is something. This is cool.
That's fair.
I haven't played that. So you might be like, all right, I need something to breathe life back into this.
Yeah, I do kind of feel that. Like I feel like I was hoping for something more substantial.
That's fair.
Yeah, but I mean, first, they do pack that game to the gills with content. From nut to what, yo? From
if you're watching me, you could see me like smirk the moment I thought of it. Well, I didn't like invent that, but from nut to butt, which could either be everything or it could be a very short route. It could be like not playing anything at all.
If you're going like from the front up and around that way, yes.
Right.
If you're going through the Valley of Evil, like then it's gonna be a short trip, It's like the Kessel Run. Like you can take the Kessel Run, and it's gonna be a much faster trip, but it's dangerous down there.
It's dangerous, all right.
Yeah, you could die. You're like statistically you will die if you take the Kessel Run, but only like a few folks can, like the crazy ones. Lexa says you're the first person they've ever heard say that phrase.
All right, I'll take it. It's not like I hear it often, but every once in a while I'll hear something and I'm just like, all right, just gonna add that. Add that to the
lexicon.
List of phrases. I feel like most of the time I hear those things, they're from old people. Not that one, but I don't know what I'm doing to myself, but I hear like some weird phrase that I'm like, well, that's weird. I'm gonna say that all the time now for the rest of my life until people tell me to shut the fuck up.
Yeah. I feel like we all do that. I feel like we all collect like a lexicon of like phrases that we've heard from like people and in our travels. And I think I'm very glad that at least we're choosing different sources, because like I feel like there was a period for a while where we were finding the most probably disgusting and like horrific like phrases that we could find on like 4chan or like the internet, like for a while I feel like it was in vogue to just find the most graphically descriptive awful like not this specifically, but like the phrase tongue punch my fart box is a phrase that I learned from the internet, and it's from Doug Benson. I googled it just to find the etymology of that phrase, but tongue punch my fart box is definitely something I've heard on the internet, and it's because it's such a it's a pretty wild phrase, that one, right?
It sure is. And that's why I think it resonated with people. It really paints a picture,
It paints a picture, but I feel like we're sort of entering this point where we're not looking for the craziest like tongue punch my fart box, but I'm not looking for that. Like I'm looking for ones that just sort of elicit joy out of me. I don't know. Like it doesn't have to be something so vulgar. I'm sounding like an old man. I'm going like, the phrases we use is too vulgar. We tongue pinch the feedbacks. I don't know what I'm saying.
What do you think of my gyrating Branthor? His hat feels a little too fidgety. I need to fix that. And it looks like his legs are kind of pulsing, but
I love it. I like the pulsing legs.
So that's what I've done so far while we've been on the air. That took me 1 hour. Not really, but I mean, it's been about an hour.
Has it really been an hour? I feel like I've gotten no progress at all.
Well, I mean, we started a little late, and,
True.
The usual. But yeah, so let's see. That hat is not doing what I want it to do, so I'm going to mess with that a little bit.
Leviathan
I wanted
Den
to feel like it was like... Oh, go ahead.
No, you go first.
I was going to say, what I wanted to try and make it do, it seemed like it was like hovering in place, like he's coming back to it before it falls. And that's kind of wobbling in place, but it does not appear that way. So I'm going to make the wobble less, I think.
Okay. I think that's fair.
Or something. I don't know. I'm going to play around with that.
Yeah,
anyways, go ahead.
A lot of like making the initial animation, I feel like is pretty quick. I feel like we fidget with like trying to get it to look just right.
It's rare that you have to see what you drew in action before you can actually like know it's good. And a lot of times I feel it's rare that like you animate something complicated, then hit play and you're like, whoa, that's exactly what I was hoping it would look like. Usually like, all right, that looks clunky. I need to tweak some things.
Exactly. Yeah, like, oh, I thought those two frames would look good together, but they don't. I have to.
When we were doing the time crunch for Two Dicks on the Beat, I remember drawing we were almost out of time-ish, and I was drawing the puppet that was like all the kids in the trench coat, and I'm like, this is not going to look right. and it's kind of complicated. There's a lot of moving parts, and then I hit play, and it was just like so exactly what I wanted. And I was just like, okay, all right,
Excellent.
that's great.
It's a great feeling. Leviathan Denton says, one of the phrases I've said before in a joking manner to a friend leaving is, don't let the door hit you or the good Lord split you. I didn't think anything of it, but everyone else thought it was great and loved it. I've heard that one before. I've heard
It's a good one. That feels like an old person phrase. I like a nice.
It does feel like an old person phrase.
Not to age you, Leviathan Den, but I like a phrase. Old people have some weird ass phrases that are
They
just
sure
like
do,
very like,
yeah.
you know, like they're more entertained by them than anyone they say them to. Like that's the kind of energy I'm trying to give off. Like,
oh yeah, I'm not talking. I'm not saying shit for anyone's benefit but myself at this point.
as it should be.
Yeah. I'm not putting on airs. I didn't say this phrase for you. I said it for me because I want to have some fun in my conversation. So I forget. I'm making my Schmizzard the Wizard, right? Like he's.
Yeah, I believe that was the plan. Unless
Okay.
plans can change, but that was the original plan.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure because we're doing one set of puppets for out of character, one set of puppets for in character. I just wanted to make sure.
That's the plan. And maybe since you're like getting stuck doing the characters at the table, to even it out, I can do some of the mouths and things of that nature.
Yeah, that works for me. When I do my Schmizzard, I'm gonna try and make him look pretty close to what your Branthor looks like stylistically, because I feel like having that.
Yeah, I think your original Schmizzard design would fit with this still pretty well. I didn't change much of my original design. I just made him look a little cleaner.
Yeah, I don't plan on changing Schmizzard the Wizard. I like his.
Your original design was pretty great.
Yeah, I kind of like both of our. We kind of had lightning in a bottle with that first DnD campaign. A little bit. That was a lot of fun.
I feel like the hat's doing a little bit more of what I was hoping for now.
Yeah.
All right, I think that's good for the motion. Because that way the arms will be pretty. So are we doing arms separate or not? I'm cool with whatever.
Here's what I was thinking. You have that you have that puppet right there with no arms, and then you draw the puppet. You'd basically have a version of that puppet with the arms. So then when we start drawing new arms on, I would just switch out the armed puppet with the no arms puppet instead of making the arms a separate layer.
I just don't want to make things too complicated for you either.
No. This should be fine. It's gonna be complicated no matter what, but this is something I can handle.
All right, I believe in you.
Leviathan Den says, "Do you have an all-time favorite phrase?" Because I don't. I don't like to pick favorites of anything.
I have some. I feel like I have some I like, but it's hard to. They basically sit in like the depths of my brain, and then when the moment arises for them to come forward, I remember them. I don't like have them like on the tip of my tongue right now.
I don't have like a dictionary in my brain I can pull out and be like, yes. Like.
Yeah.
They just kind of come up spur of the moment.
Yeah. They need to be inspired for them to come out of their resting place.
Exactly.
All right. There he is.
I'm pretty good.
Good with that. Now I just need to. You want me to do a separate one with the arms? Both arms? One arm?
Both arms. But you can actually make it the same puppet, but with arms if you wanted to. It's up to you.
Right. I'll finish coloring this guy first, and then I'll do arms as the next part.
Okay.
So you're animating, or you're working in Clip Studio, and I'm working in Photoshop.
Correct. Right? Yes.
Gotcha. I should give Clip Studio another try now that I have a new graphics card, more RAM.
Give it the old college try.
Does that mean trying butt stuff in college? What does that mean?
It does. And I refuse to believe otherwise. But yeah, you should. I mean, I don't know if you're still able to download like the demo.
I think I can do the trial again. I don't know. Okay. I'll give it a try.
Yeah. And you can even open like Photoshop files in Clip Studio, which I don't know how that's legal, but you totally can.
I think you got to make files accessible, or else, you know, it's functionality that just makes it really hard to.
That's true.
A lot of times, you know, you make something and then people want the raw file.
Yeah, that's true. And Clip Studio did actually recently add the function you can actually import your Photoshop brushes into Clip Studio. It's pretty nifty. But they also have like that online asset store, which is super cool because I just download fucking people's crazy texture brushes all the time.
Yeah, that's the thing. I feel like all the good brushes aren't coming out for Photoshop so much anymore, so I'm getting jelly. Now everybody's on Clip Studio or they're on Procreate.
Yeah, Procreate's got like a lot of really amazing looking brushes from what I see.
I used to get a lot of the goodies over here. Leviathan Den says, what kind of graphics cards did you get? Well, I got that 3060 you sent me, and then Ian has a 2070 Super that I sent him.
Yeah, the old one.
So we all did the swap switcheroo.
A little swap-a-rooney. Alright, I think I'm gonna draw the next frame of this talking... this is the idol, I guess, so I just need to make him blink. I'm gonna have my puppet, since he's sitting in the middle, he's gonna like blink and like look back and forth, and he's gonna like talk, and he's gonna look back and forth when he's talking.
I like that. I didn't even think about having my character looking around or anything. He's just bouncing. But that's all right. He looks like a simple man from his face. Oh, you're talking about your table character.
Yeah, because he's in the middle of the table.
All right, that makes sense. So I know you have said this already, but I just want to go over this one more time because it sounds more complicated. I feel like if there's an animation with arms or without. What if you just have? Because then you're gonna have character with arms, character without arms, 2 idle animations, and then you're gonna have character talking with arms, character talking without arms. Wouldn't it be easier to just have arms that go over top of all of it?
No, because then the arms have to sync up with both of those animations. But if you have just arms on the like, I can swap out like the 2 puppets really easily.
Okay.
I
just want to check one more time. I know how you do it. I'm just trying to. In my head, that sounds more difficult, but you're the mastermind behind the control board. So if you want it that way, I'll give it to you that way.
How like doing it this way instead of having the arms be a separate layer is less button presses for me, and also it's less coordination that you have to do with your GIF making.
Okay, cool. Say no more.
I got you covered.
Say no more, I said.
Okay. You know, it's unfortunate I didn't set up for the seconds. Like, I have my animation timeline on the other screen.
Yeah.
Oh, good to have it this way. So much better. It's because when you have the animation timeline on like the screen you're trying to animate on, it's like now everything's all cramped together.
Oh yeah, I can go ahead and take that off, and I just did.
Put down another screen, and then you have the whole timeline to work with too, and that's like less space to get confused on.
You're a smart man. I recently upgraded to 3 screens, and I haven't even thought of all the useful ways I can use it yet.
There's so many ways you can use it.
I'm gonna go with the purple nipples for Ranthor here.
Sorry, I got a text on my phone.
So I believe I'm going with the purple nipples here for Brandor.
It's a good choice. Good choice.
Creative choice.
Good choice. Good creative choice.
Thank you.
Absolutely. I'm gonna be right back. I need to get another beer.
Sure.
Want me to get you one?
I would love that.
I feel like I've said I'm gonna be right back twice now and left you stranded here alone.
Oh, I don't mind. I'm actually working on stuff, so it's a little less like. With the show, it's a little harder to fill the space. I feel like. So
yeah.
Playing off each other a little bit more, but right now I have like a goal, so
True.
I can just fly free.
That sounded like a dig at first. Like it kind of sounded like shade because you're like I'm actually working on stuff, which sounds. I'm not. Oh,
I didn't mean it that way.
I know you didn't. I know you didn't.
I see what you're saying.
It sounds like it could have been shade, and I wouldn't have been like offended because I'm like, yeah. No, I do like go off on tangents and not work on stuff when.
No, what I mean is, I know you know what I mean, but what I mean is, like on the show, I'm just kind of drawing whatever we're talking about or messing around or trying to fill the time a little bit.
Yeah.
With something that I think is entertaining, but right now I'm just trying to. I know what I'm trying to do is animate this guy, so I'm just like.
Yeah.
You know, I could do a stream just by myself, just doing this. You know, I'm just.
Yeah, and we frequently have. And it's just funny because it did sound like shade at first, but I was like, no, like as you finished the sentence, I was like, oh no, he was actually okay. No, it's cool. It's cool.
Yeah. Go have fun getting a beer, you dumb piece of shit.
Okay, I have a story to tell about thinking someone's throwing shade.
That was shade.
That was shade. I know you were. I have a story about thinking someone's throwing shade and they're not, but I'm gonna be right back, and then I'll have that story.
Can't wait to hear it.
It's gonna be so entertaining, and it's not at all gonna be like 2 sentences long, and then it's like that's it. So bye.
All right. This is. I'm thinking like brown, like gear. He does. I know he's pretty much naked, but like for his boots and his belt and his hat and stuff. Leviathan Den says, "I wish I could animate twiddling thumbs." Is that shade? I'm not sure. But that sounds complicated, even for me. And I say it like that, like I'm some kind of expert animator. I'm not, but some of our projects recently have just been like little GIFs, and that's all I'm trying to do here. I'm thinking I was gonna like shade him and everything, like real detailed, like shadow, but I might not do that because I don't know, it'd be nice if his arms looked a little bit more. When we're doing the show live, we're gonna be drawing things on top of them to kind of like have them change in real time. And I want it all to kind of fit together. I don't want the stuff that we're doing live to look super lazy in comparison. I don't know. Oh, gotcha. Okay. I wasn't sure if you were saying like watching us animate was tedious. But yeah, that would be a good move for the guys at the table. Well, you know, you can learn to animate. It's hard. I don't do much of it. I used to do a lot more. Then I stopped for like over a decade, and now I'm doing it a little bit again. But it takes a long ass time, especially if you're doing like something more than like 3 or 4 frames, like what we're doing, because you know you animate for like 8 hours to have like maybe 10 seconds, depending on how complicated. So fun stuff, and I feel like to get twiddling thumbs that would like scan, you'd need a lot of frames, or else it would just look like somebody being like their hands freaking out or something. Animating hard, yo. Oh shit. This is funny. I'll wait till Ian has his headphones on.
Hello.
Hello, you want to hear something funny? Literally, as you re-entered the room, I have music that I'm listening to separate than what's playing on our show. We don't have to take our clothes off, just started playing.
Oh shit.
Out of like, I mean, that could have been like the playlist. I'm just listening to a random playlist, but it has 1,000 songs in it, so that was random.
That is very random. Who? It's a 1 in 1,000 chance, but
Jermaine Stewart.
I guess it's
didn't have to look it up. It just came to me.
I guess it's not a 1 in 1,000 chance. It's like a 1 in 1,000 chance, but like minus a chance for each song that is played up until this point, because then the playlist isn't going to randomize those. But still, it's
That's
pretty
true.
high.
I had already listened to 999 songs, so
Oh, okay. So
the odds were actually really good of it.
It was bound to happen.
It was bound to happen.
Well, I'm glad that we got to the bottom of that mystery.
Me too. People were dying to know.
They were fucking throwing up out of anxiety and anticipation.
Been there.
Me too.
So I was gonna like shade. I was just saying on the stream, I was gonna shade this guy and give him a lot of shadow, but I think so that the arms feel a little bit more like connected, I might not.
Okay, that's fine.
Maybe I could in a couple spots and just not overdo it.
Yeah. We don't have to go like overboard with these. We just have to, you know.
But I do want it to look good.
Yeah, of course.
What kind of beard you get?
Just a bunch of Miller High Life.
You're living the high life over there.
Proud of you. Wanted something cheap.
Cheap is good.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, let's see here.
I'm trying to think about how to do these idle animations. Like, what would be a good...
Yeah, you got quite the job for yourself there, I feel like.
do?
It's a big task. Keep it simple if you wanted to, and like...
Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do.
I'm gonna have like the most detailed like puppets of the whole thing.
Like, I think it's just gonna be like, I'm gonna have like a breathing animation, and the breathing is me just like squashing and stretching the one frame that's had to like, you know, so they kind of like.
That's good.
And then just the talking, which is gonna be the usual 3 frames that we do.
I think that's a good idea. How about you, Ian? Have you been? You mentioned Forza, but have you watched or played anything new this past week?
I wouldn't call it new. I'm getting further in Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I'm like almost done with that show, I'd say.
Okay. How many seasons of that are there?
There are 8 seasons. And I'm on season 7, I want to say.
Wow.
Damn.
Wow.
So that's a show I've been watching. It's very funny.
Wow.
Wow. Wow. But so I've been watching that, and then I also recently watched the original Alien for the first time in about, God, I want to say it was like 18 years ago that I watched it.
It's a great flick.
It is. But it you know, I thought for sure I had a good memory of it, and I did have a decent memory of what went on. Like, nothing really surprised me except for a couple of moments. And like just like in general, I didn't remember a lot of like the smaller moments and things like that. Like once the alien starts going around murdering folks, like I had a pretty good grip.
The
on,
alien
like,
does what?
Oh yeah, I didn't mean to spoil it for you. But,
oh my god, I didn't realize it was a bad alien.
It's not a good alien, it's a bad alien.
Damn it. Okay.
But you know, I had forgotten, for instance, like the last time I saw Alien, I want to say I was like 13.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, it's been a while. You almost
been a
didn't,
while.
kind of almost never saw it then. If
That's
that was
kind
the
of
last
how
time
I
you saw it.
considered it. Yeah, like when the movie was starting, like there was so much I'd forgotten I was in that movie. I was like, shit, like I'm basically watching it for the first time again.
That's cool.
But once the alien does start doing all the murder, I did remember the sequence of events pretty exactly. Like, you know, again, smaller moments I don't remember exactly as well. And like I'd forgotten about the scene in the air vents, but for the most part, like the order of events that, like the order in which people died in the movie, I like remembered exactly. You know, how it ends and like the lead up to it, I remembered pretty exactly. Like nothing really, the only thing that really surprised me once the alien was doing the murders was the guy who ends up being a fucking android. I completely forgot about that element of the film.
They like to do that in almost all the alien movies. It's like, surprise android. They do that a lot.
Interesting. I haven't, that's the only alien movie I've seen. I haven't even seen like Prometheus or anything like that. Or
Aliens, the next one is fantastic. Some would argue. I'm not sure if I would have to really like watch them back to back and decide, but some say Aliens is better than Alien. So
I hear it's like I mean it's a different kind of movie. Like it's a more of an action movie than it is a and I think you know, that's going to be dependent on like what kind of movie Alien is to you. Although, you know, I'm fine with considering both movies, you know, without like separate. Like I'm fine just kind of considering those movies on their own merit. But yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen it, but I'd love to. And you know, if I like Aliens or I don't like Aliens, I'm not going to be like, well, this ruins Alien for me.
Well, at least everyone can agree that Alien 3 is not the best Alien.
I guess not. The fucking space jockey, which I didn't know that was the name for it, but one of the other folks who was in the chat that I watched it with knew it was called the space jockey, or I guess they googled it maybe and found the name, but that thing is fucking cool. Space jockey.
Is that the big robot?
Yeah, the dude in like
Body.
the weird gunner chair, like the skeleton.
Oh, right. Okay.
Thing in the gunner chair. That thing is so fucking cool. And they actually built it, like that giant ass like dude in the gunner chair is like an actual thing that's built, which is so wild to me.
Pretty awesome.
One thing I do remember missing like from that movie is like how unclean the sci-fi looked, like how everything looked like it was like the vibe of the movie is that like as soon as humans could like space travel, they just started sending folks into fucking space. Like the ships are like held together with duct tape. Like shit falls apart and breaks.
Believable.
It's very believable. I love that. I miss that element of sci-fi. So much sci-fi nowadays is like clean and sleek, like Apple products that people are flying around in. And I'm like, I miss like that fucking like how everything feels like digital but analog at the same time, and it's all just so like lived in feeling.
Yeah. That's true. I do like that a lot too. I will say I watch a lot of sci-fi stuff and I'm always just like, you've heard me do this even, but I'm like, how could they afford all this metal or like all this like everything? They're walking down a hallway and every like surface is like this like
covered
polished,
in metal.
perfect metal, and I'm just like, this seems like a poor choice of resources. Like
it
wouldn't look like that, right? Like how would we keep everything so like, I don't know.
Once we start strip mining asteroids, you know, then we're good. Got all the precious metal we need.
That's true. Metals, you know, space is made of metal, as Austin is yelling at me from the chat.
They're in space, made of metal. Wow.
I just like, you know, it all just looks too sleek and perfect, and it's just like,
yeah, I agree.
that's all I have to say.
Yeah, Star Citizen. There's like fucking entire cities just made of like corrugated metal, like just like the like fucking 8-inch walls, like thick walls of steel, and all over like Star Citizen like cities and things like that. And it's like they really processed a lot of metal. That's a lot of metal. But yeah, I love, and also miniatures in Alien, like all the spaceship shots that are like miniatures just look so much more like, they look like miniatures in that movie, but they still are so much more gratifying to look at than like some fucking CGI spaceship that's like,
for sure,
like I don't care anymore.
I love those
like,
traditional effects.
You like the miniature just looks like, even though it looks, I can tell it's a miniature, it just looks so much better. It looks tangible, and it has like a, like it looks like it has like a feel to it where my eyes,
you can tell
like
you're looking at a physical item and not like some like graphics. You know, you can tell there can be like CGI that looks real, but sometimes, and a lot of times, you're looking at it and you're like, that it looks like I'm watching like a cutscene. I'm not looking at an actual tangible item in front of me.
Yeah, it's like in that Star Wars Episode 3, like when they were doing the prequels, the first shot of like the final prequel movie is like a 2.5 minute long, like one take, quote unquote, shot of a CGI spaceship in like a space battle. And it's like it's not impressive that it's a one take. It's a fucking, you made it on a computer. Like maybe it's impressive that the computer handled the scene. You could have
made it the entire length of the movie.
Yeah, you could have made it the whole movie. I've seen a bunch of like CGI commercials for video games that are all one takes, because it's not hard. I mean, it's hard, I'm sure, for the CG artist to put together the one take. It's not hard for like a director to be like, well, we got to set up the fucking blocking and the time. Like the one take shots in like Children of Men are so much more complicated and dense and difficult to put together than the one take shot in the beginning of Star Wars Episode 3. Because all George Lucas had to do was be like, and then you fly the spaceship, and then we'll pay the CGI guys to make it happen. And that's it. Like, Children of Men, like, they had to, like, fucking redo takes and, like, get, like, the timing so perfect. And, you know, just because it was harder to pull off that shot doesn't mean it's, like, any less of a shot. But the fact that in Children of Men, you can tell that things are actually happening, you know? It's like...
Right.
I don't know. There's so much I could complain about a shot from movies that are, you know, 12 years ago.
Some of the digital effects are getting a lot better.
Digital effects are getting a lot better.
Tell whether you're looking at digital or not, but there was a long period where it was just like a bummer to look at.
Yeah,
especially coming off of the opposite.
It still is a bummer to look at sometimes, though, because sometimes I'm just like, sure, man, if this movie could have been good, and instead I'm watching a CGI clusterfuck. And that bums me out.
That's fair. But I'm sure it was cheaper.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Much cheaper.
I do love some traditional effects.
I do too. I mean, you just can't... You can't beat it. You can't beat the traditional effects. And like CGI that like is mixed with traditional effects, like that's a great marriage. I don't mind that at all.
That's like, I think, the ideal situation.
That is.
Because then both versions are uplifted by the other, instead of it just being like having to carry all the weight and being like this awkward thing.
Exactly. And yeah, so like the just having the miniatures of the spaceships in Alien, I just remember, like, you know, I said I just remember, like this was about 3 days ago, something like that. But, you know, I saw the spaceships and I was like, oh man, look at those actual fucking things. It's like in the original Star Wars, like if they wanted to blow up a spaceship, they had to blow up a miniature. And that was so fun. You got to like look at a thing explode. Make this
very carefully handcrafted thing just to blow it up. And I'm sure they were thrilled.
Yeah, and like you get to watch a real thing. It's like, what's the fun in watching a computer simulation of something explode? Sure, there is probably some fun in that if it's like a very impressive simulation, but it's so much more fun to watch like a real thing explode.
Your brain picks up on a lot of things, and like, you know, if something blows up and like the way the pieces fly and everything, like your brain is like, oh, that's real, that's not. Like, it's just like, it's hard to simulate it, and they're getting better all the time. But you know, if you blow up something real, or, you know, basically that's the reason I think real is always better, is because your brain can tell you're looking at something real.
Yeah, absolutely. And I agree with what Austin, or with what Zone Dog is saying. It says, CG clusterfucks are attached to otherwise super... I rarely think CG clusterfucks are attached to otherwise super good movies. They tend to go a bit hand in hand. Good usage of special effects goes for a good movie. And yeah, I think that's absolutely accurate. Like, a good movie is just gonna... a good movie is gonna be better in a number of different ways. So if a movie is good, they're probably gonna at least take the care into making the special effects like fit. It's rare to think of like a good movie that has like special effects that didn't at least hold up at the time, you know?
Yeah, I suppose that's true.
I mean, there are occasions, but like if it's like an actually good movie, you know, it tends to sort of be smarter about its effects.
That's fair. Zone Dog says, number one practical splody for me is actually in Pearl Harbor, which is a very bad movie. But I'm not disagreeing with the fact that might be cool. They blow up he says they blow the fuck up of a airplane hangar. That's hard to say.
He also says, I think you'd name a lot of CG explosion moments before practical ones, which is fair, probably. I'm curious if when they exploded that helicopter in the newest season of Stranger Things, I'm curious because that looked really good.
That did look good. Wonder if it was real. Probably not.
Me too. Austin, find out. When 11 fucking dragged that helicopter on top of all those other military vehicles in Stranger Things.
That's kind of the bummer of the craft for the artists who are making this stuff. If you make it good enough, no one will know that you did it.
Yeah. Well, it's like my one teacher in college actually made a great comparison. They compared it to they compared making good art and good art choices to in Futurama, the episode where Bender meets like a constellation that's kind of like God, but you know they don't say it's God, because the constellation's like if you do it right, no one will know you did anything at all. And my teacher said like artistic choices that are like done well are like that, like they're seamless and they don't like a good artistic choice is not supposed to take you out of like the piece. It's supposed to just keep the illusion running. And I've always thought that was like a good, like I like to take that approach to artistic choices. It's not like what's the effect that's gonna make people like shit their pants and go like, dude, did you see when the title sequence flew at my face and shot late? It's like, no, what's the title sequence that's gonna make the movie, you know, fit? What's you know, it just makes sense to me.
I agree with that. I do like that your teacher's like, I know how to reach these kids. I'll reference Futurama.
He was fucking hilarious, by the way. This teacher was like neurotic and very gay, and like he had like a vendetta with the squirrels that like lived outside of his apartment. Like he'd come into class and he'd just be like, he was kind of like a twitchy dude. He'd just like walk in and be like, class, these fucking squirrels, I swear to God, I'm gonna fucking poison these fucking squirrels outside my apartment. And he'd like go on a 10-minute rant about like squirrels and like Lady Gaga, and then eventually he would be like, okay, let's teach the class. And then he'd go on and teach the class. But he was a great teacher. I like that guy a lot.
Hey.
He's a real one. Gave me a devastating end of the year review. Like we had like a big project, which was like a self-portrait after doing a lot of like practice drawings of like onions and garlic and things like that. And so like we're looking at my final piece, and he says, you know, Ian, right now I think you draw like a very talented high schooler, but we're not in high school anymore. And I was like, damn.
Like, I'm gonna go cry in my car for a minute. That hurt.
No, I had to give it to him. He was fucking right. I like agreed with him as he was saying it, and I was like, shit. I like that was like the moment where I was like, okay, high school I could fake it. And like in college, like, no, people know how good you should be. So it was a very real moment. But that
sounds like a good teacher.
He was a great teacher. He was really good. Very fucking crazy and funny too. His rants about like his cats and like the squirrels, I'll never remember them word for word because they were just wild, but I'll never forget the energy that like they brought to the room.
Zone Dog says, I'm gonna say the main helicopter explosion was practical, but it has VFX elements. Then he goes, holy fuck. And then I'm waiting. I'm not sure if something's coming after that.
The holy fuck thing might have been the squirrels. I'm not sure.
Maybe.
Or no, it might have been the devastating.
Review.
Yeah, the devastating review.
Yeah, that could be.
Feedback. Yeah, it says it's the feedback. Yeah, I mean he was right, and he had every fucking right to say it. That's what he was getting paid for. Like that dude did his job. And so I cannot be mad at the man.
I mean, if you're a teacher, especially in that field, you're not helping anybody by just telling them great job.
Yeah. Can't sugarcoat it.
I mean, I feel like, I don't know.
I feel like it's worth saying.
In an artistic field, you need to be pushed because, I don't know. You're only there to get better. Nobody cares if... When you're trying to get an art job, they're not like, all right, well, do you have your bachelor's in art? They don't give a shit. They just want to see how good you are, and that's it.
Yeah, the degree is not where the degree is not important.
If you're there, you're there because you just want to get better.
Yeah. And it like having that review, I was like, shit, like I gotta buckle down because he's right. Like I completely agreed with him when he said it. I was like, yeah, I've seen what everyone else is doing. Or I've seen what at least the like top of the class is doing. Like that was still freshman year, and in freshman year in my art school at least, I'm sure it is for the same for every art school. Is like the first few years you kind of like weed out the people who aren't being super serious about it. Like one of my classmates, their actual goal was to get on MTV's Real World, and they were like showing us their audition videos and things like that. I didn't see that person next year.
I hope they got there.
Yeah, I hope so too. I didn't see that person next year. So, you if you're there to get the hard you're there to get the criticism. You're there to learn how to get better. And if you're not serious about it, well, that's what the first couple of years did, was they weeded out the folks who were not being serious.
I was pretty fascinated by how many people, and I'm sure everybody who's gone to an art school has experienced this.
Yes.
I was pretty fascinated by the sheer amount of people that A, do not take criticism, B, are like,
yeah,
I already know what the fuck I'm doing. The only comments you should be giving me are like, great job.
Yeah.
Like, and a lot of times they were people that couldn't back it up either. Like it'd be one thing if you were like the most amazing artist I've ever saw, and you just happen to be like you're a prodigy and you're passing through school, and you're like, that'd be one thing. But it was usually the people that needed the critiques the most.
Right.
And then they would just not have it, and they would like throw a fight. Like anytime somebody was like, hey, have you thought about changing this because this doesn't really look good or this doesn't make sense, and they would just throw a fit, and you're like, oh shit.
Oh no.
My God. Never mind.
Yeah, I remember there was this one classmate I had, like one of my first classes in school was illustration class, which was just like general. It wasn't like a very specific class because that poor teacher, like, how do you make a syllabus for that class? It's all for like freshman students. They haven't quite, we didn't quite learn what illustration proper was. Like we just kind of had the idea in our head, like I'm gonna draw pictures. So he had to like make a class for people who like were still sort of in that mindset, and then like teach them about illustration. So like the first assignment was make a logo for yourself. Make a logo to represent the work that you do. We want to get a sense of your personality through your logo. And it's like, okay. And so Kyle's gonna get fucking annoyed by this because he complained about me saying we've talked about this on the show before, but I have. But anyways, yeah, it's all right. No one's gonna listen to the previous episodes, so really it doesn't matter. I've said this before.
I listen to all the VODs in between every episode.
Oh, I'm so glad.
It's tough because every week I have to watch one more. And like now we're up to the point where I have to watch 115 episodes every week.
Oh, you watch them all? Oh, okay. Every week.
Yeah.
I did not. Okay. Wow.
Oh yeah.
Also, just real quick, Zone Dog in the chat with a Letterkenny reference. Okay, teacher. Teacher, okay. But so the first assignment was to make a logo, and so we come in with our logos, and one of the classmates. Their logo is actually super dope. It's like this fucking like cool painterly panda, and it's like very cool looking, but it doesn't have any like written info on it. Like it's supposed to say our name and like maybe a tagline for us or something like that. But hers is just like this cool drawing. So her critique was like, hey, like, this looks cool as hell. This is great. Just need you to add your name to it somewhere so people can, you know, for the assignment, it's about making a logo. Logos have the name that they're advertising on it. At least for this assignment, they do. And she, like, took the criticism in the class very well. And then later, we were supposed to come back for class, but she didn't come back for some reason, but nobody, I think, really noticed. And then I went out to go to the bathroom. And as I'm going to the bathroom, I hear her, like, she's in the hallway and she's on the phone and she's crying and she's going like, and they told me I had to add words to the drawing and it's completely ridiculous. And I was like, we all told you we loved it. I'm like, you got a great critique. We just said you had to add words to it because that was the assignment. Teacher said that. Like, I'm like, you know, we were all like, oh, this looks
Think about it like a client.
Yeah.
You know.
So she was on the phone crying to somebody about it, and I was just like, oh no. if this is rough for you, you're gonna have a bad time in art school.
Hopefully the main thing she learned if she stayed was how to take criticism, because that's a very useful skill.
Yes,
too.
it's a very useful skill.
I don't know if skill's the right word. I guess it kind of is, but you need to know how to do it regardless of what you call it.
Yeah, it's a thing about emotional maturity. You need to have the emotional maturity to receive criticism, because otherwise life's just gonna be fucking rough for you. I don't know what else to tell you.
It's gonna be a bad time.
You're gonna have a bad time.
Here we go, my guy's. I got one frame of him squatting now.
Beautiful.
Look at that.
That's looking fantastic.
Alright. I am gonna leave you now and use the bathroom real quick.
Oh, this is unfair.
Yep, good luck. You're gonna crash and burn just like I did all those times.
Shit!
You're gonna cry way more than I did, and I cried a lot while you were gone.
Puke.
I was
You cried a lot?
sobbing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
I cried like crazy, man. I cried like crazy.
Oh. Sorry.
Alright, be right back.
Okay, bye. I'm just gonna make eye contact with the camera now for the next 2 minutes. And that is a loud motorcycle that just came by his window. We all heard the motorcycle. We all heard it. Gosh, you know, I always have a hard time picking colors. Not with the colors. Easy, folks. They're not easy. Colors, folks, they ain't easy. But that's okay. Now we'll actually have a puppet for me. And that's all that matters. We don't need a puppet for Matt or Brandon. The puppet for me. You guys can get fucked. Ha 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 ha, dude. Ha 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 ha. Boy, what other stories do I have to tell from college? Gosh. Where is that one time we smoked? We didn't smoke crack, but we almost smoked crack. That was a crazy time.
Sounds like I'm back just in time.
Oh, hey, Brandon, welcome back. What's up? How was that trip?
Great. Oh, it's getting real pink in here.
It's getting very pink in there.
Getting mighty pink. It's very pink. The darker it gets, the pinker it gets, if that makes sense.
You're going into Pepto-Bismol mode.
Let me adjust this a little bit.
Pepto-Bismol.
My phone is up there. I can't even do it. It's just gonna stay pink. I'm fine with that.
That's okay.
Pepto-Bismode.
Pepto-Bismode. You know, rest in peace, but they really missed out.
Pepto-Bismarcky.
Yeah, yep. You knew where I was going with that.
I had to weasel in there.
Was it me just saying rest in peace that made you realize you had to get your joke out?
No,
faster?
I was about to say it too. I just kept hearing bisma and then us changing it to something else.
Yeah.
What would that commercial be like? You got what I need for diarrhea and nausea.
It'd be like, it's like, hey yo, You got upset stomach, diarrhea, indigestion. And then he'd do like some beatboxing, because beatboxing was like a big, like he did the snail song from Adventure Time with all the beatboxing. Do you know that song?
I've definitely heard it. I don't remember it in detail.
I actually found out that snail beatbox song is in fact on Spotify.
Oh,
yeah,
cool. Is it under his page?
You know, I don't.
Den says, "Have a good night, everybody. Thanks for
Have
watching.
a good night.
See you
Thanks
later."
for watching. I think if you go to Spotify and you type in Adventure Time Snail, you'll probably. I'll Google it right now, or not Google it. I'll Spotify search it. But it came up in my like Spotify Discover Weekly, where it's like, these are songs you might like, and I was like, you're damn right I like this song.
Is my drawing still showing up?
Yeah.
Oh, on the stream it looks like it's gone. Oh, my thing froze. One sec.
For me, it's still there.
We're all good. We're good.
Okay.
It's on my end, it would seem. Time to color this fella for the third time.
The song's called Gooey Gangsta. I searched Adventure Time and then Biz, and then Gooey Gangsta was the first thing to pop up.
It's a good name for a rap song by a snail.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Is that the snail that's like evil and around the whole time?
I don't know. That might be. No, it's
like the Lich is hiding as a snail for most of the show, I feel like.
Right, that's the snail that's in like all the shots. But no, this is like in the first season they come across this giant snail, and like the snail's a beatboxing snail, and like the snail is doing something, like it's slamming shit up.
Gotcha.
Or something, and they're like, snail, stop slamming shit up, and then they like start making dope music with it.
I'll have to check that out. I don't remember it.
Have you watched any of the Adventure Time like special episodes that they put on HBO that have come out since the show ended?
I started like the first one, and I think I've watched like. Is it one long episode or is it a few episodes?
There's
a few, right?
I think it's like 4 episodes.
To each one? Because there's more than one story.
I'm not sure. I think each one is 4 different stories that are long episodes.
Okay. Well, I've watched some of it, but I have not seen all of it.
Okay, one of them was like with Mr. Peppermint Butler.
Right. He's like at Harry Potter school or something.
Something like that, yeah. I haven't watched any.
Harry Potter school.
Harry Potter school. I haven't watched any of those myself. I actually still need to finish Adventure Time, but I do have a friend who's got a tattoo of Peppermint Butler on their leg, so when I found out that they were doing
That's a good character to pick.
Yeah, when I found out they were doing an episode for that character, I texted that friend and I was like, you will be fucking pumped.
I have great news for you.
Great news for you and your tattoos.
You know, you always hope your tattoo is going to get a little more play.
You do.
You put it on your body and you're like, I hope I see this character again.
This tattoo pays off.
I need relevancy.
Point if I fucking got this tattoo in. What would be the point?
I knew I shouldn't have got a tattoo of season 1 of the caveman commercial from Geico. Yeah.
Oh my god, could you imagine if somebody did get a tattoo of the caveman commercials?
There's somebody out there with a
I'm sure there is
on them.
I feel like what do you think is the % chance that somebody out in the world has the caveman tattooed on
100%. There's so many people. Just about it's like Rule
just
34.
Making bad choices
in a less sexual way. There's somebody out there. Every bad choice you can fathom, someone's probably made it.
Well, yeah, I think that's an accurate. Yeah, I think that's fair. It's like Murphy's Law, but for just bad decisions people in the world have made. It's like a weird confluence of Murphy's Law.
I knew a guy
Rule
with
34.
a Monster Energy drink logo tattooed on him, and you could argue that's worse than a Geico caveman.
One of my, speaking of college classmates, one of my college classmates also had a Monster Energy drink tattooed on them. They frequently included the monster logo in their art projects, and I found out later through Facebook that they were a juggalo and had pictures of them on Facebook with the face paint.
Interesting choices in life for that one.
The guy kind of looked, his general vibe, like, he was a nice guy, but his general vibe did fit. Like, when I found out he was a juggalo, I was like, I knew it. Like, it was just, it confirmed my suspicions, is what it did.
Rarely do you find out somebody's a juggalo and then that's like a revelation.
Right. It doesn't take you by surprise very often.
Yeah, they're usually they wear it on the sleeve. They're not very secretive about being that type of person.
Yes. And then eventually they did start including the like Hatchet Man in their artwork as well.
Great.
And I was like, okay.
That guy there is a big money rustler.
He was.
If I've ever seen one. Zone Dog says they should make a cereal. Yeah.
Juggalos.
Why haven't been saying juggalos? Yeah, that's it.
That's it right there. They should do that. Why haven't they? If they can single-handedly bring up the like stock of Faygo, they can do it with cereal. They can make a cereal.
Do you think they affect Faygo sales that much?
I have to assume yes.
I will tell you, if you're in Michigan, and I am, Faygo's everywhere, and people love it. And you don't have to be a juggalo to be. I mean, like as a kid, like that's all we drank, like is pop. Like it's.
Before Juggalos, I had no idea that Faygo existed.
Right. It's not. It doesn't have much of a footprint outside of Michigan.
No.
They brought it to. They gave it like a cultural like significance elsewhere in the world.
Yes.
But straight up in this state, people love their Faygo.
You know what's funny is I had a friend in college too. They were in my fencing club. They were big fans of Homestuck. You remember Homestuck?
Okay. Yes.
So in Homestuck,
still going, right?
No, I think it's ended now. I think it's ended by now. It seemed like it went on forever. It had more words in it than apparently War and Peace, like by the end of its run. Yeah. Or like not even by the end of it, but like just well into it. And I read a good amount of it. I'm sure I could easily, or I could have a very hard time finding my place in Homestuck and then finish it within 2 years of reading every day. But in Homestuck, there is a Juggalo character, or like he's like a troll from like an alternate dimension, and he's a Juggalo. Except he's not, like when he finds out about the insane clown posse on Earth, he actually goes insane and murders a bunch of people because it, like heresy or something. Anyways, he drinks a bunch of Faygo because of the insane clown posse. So then that friend who I was in the fencing club with, eventually I had to sublet their apartment from them for a place to crash while they were off studying abroad or something like that. I was crashing in their place, and they had a collection of like all the different Faygo flavors, like up on like one of the like cabinets above their TV or something like that, and I knew it was a Homestuck reference, and I was just like, you've washed the bottles out first, like.
Boy, there's some. What's your favorite Faygo flavor, Ian?
I don't know. I've never had Faygo in my life.
Yeah, most of them are just named like what you'd think they would be named. It's like, but then they got Rock and Rye. That's one. That's a popular one. The stupid name.
Boy.
I don't remember what they're called. I don't really drink.
You're not a Faygo head?
I don't really drink soda like.
Yeah, I don't drink soda a whole lot anymore either.
And now also I think like people making their own sodas is way more popular. So Faygo is kind of sunken into the like mix of everybody else's stuff. I think back when they were doing it, it was kind of still like, like here's something that's not like Coca-Cola. It's a little bit like more smaller.
Kind of like Jones soda.
Yeah, like Jones. That's kind of how Faygo was, except just in Michigan.
Okay.
Exactly.
Have you had Jones soda lately?
Nope. Last time I had it, I was probably not able to drive yet.
Yeah, same. Or at least not able to drink. I'm not sure the last time I had Jones
Well, yeah,
soda.
definitely that.
It's been a while.
So you haven't been jonesing for one.
I haven't been jonesing for a Jones. Although now that we've talked about it, I wouldn't mind picking one up and giving it an old taste test.
Oh, knock yourself out.
Okay.
Oh god. Oh no. You really did it now. Did you see the other side?
Sorry, I gave
subscribe.
myself
Wow.
a concussion and then I vomited after the concussion.
Crazy Kyle just subscribed, putting him at 2 years.
Oh wow.
That's amazing. Thank you, Crazy Kyle. We appreciate you. And also, I don't think this was intentional, but it makes a fart noise when he subscribes, and it was right when you were like going like, sound like you were puking and farting.
It sounded like I knocked myself out and then farted. Pretty fantastic.
We've all been there.
Yes.
Anyways, thank you, Kyle.
Yes,
Happy
thank
second
you.
birthday.
Happy
We
second
appreciate
birthday. We love you, Kyle. Shit.
How goes your drawing over there?
I'm just about done with the idle animation for me.
Oh yeah, there he is. He's looking about. Looks good.
Yeah, it's very simple, but honestly, simple is the name of the game here.
Yeah, simple's good. Simple's good. I added some shading and lighting and stuff, and I'm mad at myself already.
That's how it goes.
What can you do?
I wonder if Jones Soda is like a viable business model anymore. Because I don't know too many people who are making their own sodas, but I'm sure it's easy. I know a couple of folks who have made their own sodas in like those home soda kits or whatever.
We have like this kind of like niche, like artisanal market in Grand Rapids. It's kind of like meant to like be modeled after like a farmer's market, but it's like, you know, little businesses and things like that. Anyways, there's this one shop in there that's all just like sodas, but it's like they have walls and walls of them, and I don't know where they're all from, but they're ones you've like never heard of.
Interesting. I think the best way
Jones
to go...
had some good packaging. I was drawn to that as a kid.
That's true. They had like those crazy packages on them, didn't they?
Well, they just had like a different photo, I think, on all of them. So you could have two of the same flavor, and they were like unique. And I think that grabbed my eye a lot as a kid.
And they would also have like little things on them, like little writing, different phrases and stuff on them too. I'm pretty sure.
Probably did. That sounds right.
Interesting, because in OBS you can put in like a PNG, but will it be... No, I guess it will still have the transparency and stuff, right?
Yeah. Yeah, if you don't have a background, it won't be part of it.
You know what I'm thinking of? Yeah, I'm thinking of and when we made Two Dicks on the Beat, you know how there's like the animation of him like turning the steering wheel and stuff?
Yeah.
Like that's actually a puppet, because you can't have like an animated PNG that's got like transparency in OBS. Only the like the Puppet plugin somehow makes that work. So when I made that animation of the hand drawn driving the steering wheel, it's a puppet actually that just doesn't bounce or like react quote unquote to talking. It's technically it's reacting to my voice, but both the talking animation and the idle animation are the same, so it just looks like it's still driving.
That makes sense. Okay.
But that was so I could like put it in front of the characters, because OBS wouldn't accept an animated PNG with transparency, just like baseline.
I see.
So for the table, I was thinking like, can I put the table in front of him and like, or do I have to like cut the puppet off in a specific way so that it doesn't like mesh with? But I realized the table.
You could put still graphics.
Yeah, the table is going to be a still PNG, so it should be fine. So that was the fight I was having in my brain.
Gotcha. Almost done with coloring this part. Then I have to make arms.
Took me the whole show, but I finally got the idle animation done for me.
Well, that's good. I mean, one thing done.
Thing done. Do you think we'll be able to get these all done in time for next week? Yeah. Probably not, right?
I don't know. I would, if I had to guess, I don't want to be a naysayer, but my guess would be no.
Do you think we should do another one of these for next week too? Like these where we're both just working on...
I mean, I'm okay with that. I don't know how interesting or uninteresting it is to our viewers, but I'm totally cool with it. Like, cool I'm having a good time. No, if people
happy to be getting work done.
If people resoundingly seem against it, maybe I'd be open to not doing it. But
yeah,
I don't suspect that that's the case.
Plus, I mean, if we do more of these, then the end result will be them having a super fun thing to watch.
Exactly, and that's what everyone wants.
Wow.
Crazy Kyle says he's very attracted to one of these two drawings. Tough break, Ian. He's clearly talking about my armless nipple man.
Absolutely. There's no way he's not. Let's not kid ourselves here.
Hey, what?
What the?
Not correct.
Now I'm gonna try and just do the talking animation. I have the one frame here. I can easily just down on it, bro. But what I am gonna do real quick is I'm going to make a new timeline.
Alright, let's see how this little man operates.
Watching. I love it.
There he goes. It's kind of upsetting to look at.
I feel like it could go along with that song. It's like, could you be my lover? Be my lover? Be my lover?
Maybe I'll slow it down a little bit, or is it funny that he's gyrating so fast?
I love it. I think it's perfect.
I do like it, but I want to see what it looks like. A little bit slower.
Kind of got more of a video game character vibe when he's...
Yeah, which is what I was originally going for. It's just kind of like a weird, like, Mortal Kombat stance type thing. But
yeah.
The other one was pretty fun. I might keep it slow, though. I don't know.
So it looks good slow. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like the animation itself was made for slowness in mind.
It all is with these kind of little gifs.
Yeah. The low frame rate, it looks good. I saw another animation recently on Twitter that makes use of like a low amount of frames and like a low frame rate, but looks like fantastic.
Yeah, I love that more people are doing that more often now, because it's a really like nice stylistic choice when it looks, when it looks good. Yeah. A lot of times it does look really good.
I'm gonna see if I can find that for you, because I think you would really get a kick out of this animation as well. Pretty sure I found it on the Instagrams. But it's like basically like a bunch of aliens are stealing toothbrushes.
Yeah, you'll have to track it down for me. Crazy Kyle says Numa Numa yay. Yeah, he does kind of have some Numa Numa guy vibes. Oh no, beer tipped.
It was an empty can. My can is empty.
Oh thank God. Your face. Someone clip Ian's face. The panic in his eyes.
Oh boy.
All right. So arms are next. Wow, it's already 10. That's something. That really is something. Fight. Oh, it didn't work, did it? I was just pretending to be punched.
Why didn't it work?
I don't know.
But hold on. Try that again.
Player one, fight.
Haha. I'm invincible. I feel like when I was using Mix It Up, when I was hosting the show, I would have to like test it before every episode, just because it's kind of like.
I know what's happening here. You know what? Here's the problem. I forgot to actually start Mix It Up a little earlier.
That'll do it.
Great.
That'll do it. Well, it works.
Player one, fight.
Oh my god. Is it good to have like two concussions that make you throw up like back to back?
They cancel each other out, I think.
Oh, okay.
I think you need the second concussion to put your brain back where it should be.
Right. I think the second concussion. The first concussion hit me on this side.
What year is it?
Obviously, it's 2002.
Oh shit. I have a lot of bad news for actually.
Knights
actually just got over 9/11, so.
No, Knights of the Old Republic just came out. Oh no. Oh no.
All right. 2002 is actually, no, I don't know. It's just.
No year.
I'm trying to think about
like 30 years.
Pockets of when things are good, but I'm like, I think it's just always been terrible, right?
It's always bad, yeah. It's always been a shit show. Can you be my lover? I'll be my lover. Remember that song?
I do. That's all I have to add on that. But yes, I know the song.
Yeah, I don't know much more than that part right there.
Crazy Kyle said, this is the best stream. And then he said, oh, never mind. Damn, they woke up.
Oh, yeah. Sorry to disappoint. Sorry to disappoint you, you son of a bitch. I'm gonna try and get this talking animation done. At least started.
Yeah, I'm not done either yet. We're going overtime.
Going overtime. No time like overtime. Oh, you know what? I bet I can find this animation real easy. I have that fucking song in my head.
Hey.
Okay, I found the channel that made the... Yeah, this channel just makes a bunch of really great animations. Alright, I'm sending the link now. Dude, I'm just gonna put it in the DrawBomb Discord. Almost played copyrighted music on the stream.
DrawBomb Discord. Let me pop over there and take a little peek.
Gonna be the links. Instagram doesn't embed super well, unfortunately, but...
See that?
But I love this little animation. It's super cute. I love the low frame rate. I like the expressions on all the... I don't know, it's just a really great animation.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no shit. They did, they apparently did the animations for that later Alligator game. I don't know if you've played that game, but that game is...
I have not.
Oh man, it's on Steam. It's basically a point-and-click game where you play a bunch of mini-games sort of thing, but like, it's all animated and it involves a bunch of different, like, alligator characters. But it's insanely charming, and it's animated by these folks, apparently. I posted another animation, too. This is actually the animation I found them with, but like... It's such a great little animation. It's super cute. But like the actual animation in it is really good, but very simply done. Like
I like that drawing. That's very cute.
Yeah, like they definitely have like economy of frames like figured out. I'm gonna post one more, and this one's actually like a very legitimately impressive animation. Like they're good. They know what they're doing.
So like a team?
It's 2 people, I believe. It's yeah, it says Emmy award-winning animation duo.
Nice.
Oh, creators of Batman Spider-Man. Like they were the folks who made Batman Spider-Man. So I mean, obviously they're gonna make good shit. They're basically like legends on the internet. Yeah, I love their stuff.
Figure out what I want to do with this guy's arms here.
Okay, making this talking animation. This animation's gotta talk.
I didn't even get to that part yet.
I feel like adding arms first will make the talk animation easier, because then for the talk animation, you just chop the arms off.
Yeah, that's kind of the order I also thought would be the best.
We still gotta watch the rest of the Nightmare on Elm Street series, you know?
I know.
Talk about it. Gotta
Any
do
of
it.
them are on Prime. We could watch some stuff while working
That's true, actually.
in the future. Maybe not
Maybe not
tonight, just because we're...
I mean, we originally did do a SpongeBob watch-along while we were working on, not for Dicks on the Beat, but something... Emotes, right, for the channel. One thing that's been happening in, I feel like it's been happening a lot more frequently in Brooklyn Nine-Nine as the show approaches the end, is like, things that only would happen in a TV show just blatantly happen, and like characters will comment on it. Like it's like the ridiculousness of this thing that would only happen in a TV show, and then they just like brush past it. Like there's a lot of comedy.
Anyways.
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of humor that comes from them being like, "What? It's crazy that you just did this thing." And they're like, "Yeah, I know," and then they're like moving on. Which should be an annoying trope after a while, but it just gets funnier every time they do it because I feel like they've, like, it's interesting the amount I've laughed in the last couple episodes of the show that I've watched, and it's on like its 7th season now. So it's definitely not slowing down in terms of like being very funny. It's still nailing it.
I should give it another get back into it. I've watched a lot of it, but I definitely like stopped at a certain point, not because of quality or anything. It just fell out of it.
Yeah,
I tend to hop around.
But yeah, it still stays very good.
Nice.
I haven't.
That's off the air now, right?
Was that? Yeah, it's off the air now.
Yeah, okay.
They finished last year, like September of last year.
I mean, it was recent-ish.
Yeah, very recent, like within the year.
Oh, wow. I didn't realize it was that recent.
Yeah, I think I looked it up just out of curiosity. They ended September of 2021, so still pretty fresh. But yeah, very funny show. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have a whole lot to.
Nice.
Yeah,
it's good.
Good shit. A hard time with his fucking mouth. Sounds weird. It's a weird sentence.
Goddamn mouth. Not that weird of a sentence as an artist.
No, with context.
I should keep his hands empty, right?
I mean, you can put a sword in it. I don't know. You could put something in it, and then if we draw arms, like, continuity is not a big deal to me.
I know, I'm just trying to think, like, in the way that they're going to be used. I don't know, I'm just trying to think steps ahead type thing.
I feel you, yeah. You don't want to, like, pigeonhole yourself.
Right.
So this is kind of like a different episode than we normally do. It is technically time where we would be like, what do you have to plug?
Right.
Should we be doing that, or how do you feel?
Only if we're going off the air.
Okay.
It's up to you if you want to keep streaming or not.
I've got nothing going on in my life. I can keep going.
I'll probably go a little bit over. Like, maybe call it at, like, 11 or something.
Okay, that works for me.
Crazy Kyle says, keep going.
Keep going. He says he's chilling.
All right, we'll do.
Yeah, we're just working. It's a good chance to get this shit done and ready to go.
Yeah. I was gonna put a sword, but now I'm just debating it. It'd be better if I left his hands empty.
If you did put a sword in his hands, he could whack stuff with his sword more easily.
I mean, he's like a barbarian character. He might have a sword from the start.
Right.
I mean, your character will probably have like a wand or a staff or something.
Yeah, I've been considering if he's gonna have a staff or if he's just gonna be like with like his wizard hands.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about it.
Your guy looks like he's impressed with Branthor's
He does.
body.
Well,
It's like,
dude.
oh my god.
Girl, is that what I'm missing out on?
I knew I should have had a college try.
That could be over on the left screen. We didn't talk about this last week, but I did want to bring this up briefly on the show. I did watch the Bob's Burgers movie. That's a
Oh
thing.
yeah, what'd you think of it? I've been wanting to watch it. I haven't watched it yet.
I liked it. I mean, do you like Bob's Burgers, the show?
I do.
Then you'll
bit.
like the movie.
Perfect.
Yeah. It's funny because, you know how Bob's Burgers occasionally has like those musical numbers in it?
Quite often.
Quite often, yeah. I would go as far as to say that sometimes the show is musical sometimes.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And the movie is the same way. It like starts off with a musical number, and then there's like a musical number maybe like 2/3 of the way into. There's like a musical number every third of the movie, like the beginning, first third, second third. There's like 3, but like it's only those 3 songs, I would say. So it seems like it's gonna be a lot more of a musical movie than it ends up being. But it's fine, and also like the one guy who has a number in the song is not singing well on purpose, but like it's kind of like why would you have this scene if like the character is just going to be singing badly for like 2 minutes? But like
It's fair.
but that's it. I mean, otherwise it's very enjoyable. If you like Bob's Burgers, you'll like the movie. It's just like a big, extra long, extra dramatic Bob's Burgers episode.
With shading, probably.
With
right? Like I've seen.
amazing animation, with absolutely
good.
fantastic, beautiful
great.
looking
Happy to hear that.
animation and artwork and things like that. Like the animation is fucking top notch in the movie. They made use of that budget.
That's good.
Yeah.
I'm still like just trying to think in my head how I want this to work before I start to draw it and animate it.
Yeah, that's fair. So much of this is like the fucking planning phase. It's like figuring out like how do we do this? Yeah, good movie. Check it out if you like Bob's Burgers. If you don't like Bob's Burgers or you don't watch Bob's Burgers, you're not really gonna get much out of it.
Right, that makes sense.
Yeah.
It'd be strange, you know, if you did.
Yeah.
Like,
I felt bad because it's definitely not like it's probably gonna do terribly in theaters.
oh really?
Probably like I didn't go to theaters to see it, and I'm like, I'm a big Bob's Burgers fan. I asked, like I was like to folks in the house, I was like, hey, who wants to go to the fucking theaters, watch the Bob's Burgers movie, and everyone was like, nah. And I was like, fair.
I mean, they also. I think they're kind of expecting it to be viewed the way it is. They put it on 2 different streaming services already.
They
Maybe
did.
more.
It was on HBO for like exclusively for like 2 weeks, I want to say, and then it just recently like got put on Hulu. I have to like hope that they also assumed that it would do better on streaming than in movie theaters, but I don't know. Like, I'm not confident that you know, the companies that like run the studios are like the smartest people.
Right.
I feel like they're still trying to make.
They know they get the bulk of their viewership from streaming.
I have to assume, but I don't know. I feel like it's still. I feel like it's an agenda for a lot of like the theaters and things like that to get folks, or not the theaters, but like the movie studios to get folks back in the theaters. Because like I feel like there's like a big push to sort of, now that like people are sort of going back to sort of normal, like to, you know, theaters gotta have all the movies in them again and
Right.
things like that. So I'm like worried that in that sort of rush to make sure movies and stuff get back into like the theater like sort of situation, that like movies that don't do well, because like Spider-Man, the newest Spider-Man movie that came out, like that made $1 bajillion in theaters. So I feel like for other movie studios, for them that's the like go ahead, like, oh, we can start putting shit back in theaters again and people will actually go see them. And I'm like, I'm not sure that's going to be the case. Like, you know, I think that for the most part, unless it's the big spectacle movies, people are going to be less inclined to go to the theaters.
I'm that way in general.
Yeah, same.
I'm like, if it's a movie that I think will benefit from seeing it on a tremendous screen, like with like you're splitting the sound, then I'll go see it there. But if it's the Bob's Burgers movie, I think I'd rather watch it from my couch, honestly.
Yeah, because it's like Bob's Burgers is already just sort of comfort food anyways.
Yeah. And it's definitely not like that decision is definitely not like a negative from my perspective. But I understand that they want butts and seats at the movie theater for their movie, but I just, for me, I don't, you know, movie theater is, I only go there for certain things.
Yeah, for me, I am happy that I saw the Bob's Burgers movie in theaters. I think if I'd gone, or at home on streaming, because I think if I'd gone to a theater, I don't know, I maybe would have been hoping for something more substantial.
That's fair.
But just, you know, seeing it on streaming, it's low risk, low reward sort of situation, and you know, Bob's Burgers, it was fine. It was a very enjoyable movie, the Bob's Burgers movie. I'm not like I gotta go watch that Bob's Burgers movie again, you know. More so than I'm like I gotta watch any particular episode of Bob's Burgers again. Aside from like when it's like a holiday and I'm like, oh, we should watch the Thanksgiving episode of a Bob's Burger.
I thought, do you call a single episode of Bob's Burgers a Bob's Burger?
I do actually.
Because I hope you do.
I do, and I know that's not like right.
It should be.
For me, that's
it should be right.
Yeah.
I want that to be right. I'm not criticizing you here. I know a lot of times I do try to give you shit. This is not one of those times. Now I'm in full support.
Because like Bob's Burgers is a show that I watched by myself, and then I got the family into it to watch it with me, so like it became like a family show. And anytime like we're gonna watch a TV show together, we're like, hey, do you want to watch we go like, do you want to watch a Maisel? We're gonna watch a Marvelous Miss Maisel. We're like, do you want to watch a Grace and Frankie? We're gonna watch Grace and Frankie. Okay. For Bob's Burgers, we're like, hey, do you want to watch a Bob's Burger? Like that's what we said.
I love it.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. If like, I'm gonna get them watching this one Muppets show, and I'm gonna be like, do you guys want to watch a Muppet?
Muppet Babies?
No. There's Tyler Plead the Phil showed me this like Muppet series that had one season that came out in like 2016 or something like that.
It's the one where it's like 30 Rock, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I liked it. I liked the episodes I saw. I was like, this is great. They're like, look, the Muppets are drunk right now. This is fantastic.
About time.
Lawrence Fishburne just told them they suck. This is hilarious. Then I enjoyed it. I like the episodes that I saw. I had a good time with it. So I told the family about it. We're probably gonna watch that as a family next.
Cool. That's fun that you guys all watched it. I like that.
It's like, yeah, it's like I don't know if we connect pretty well as a family, I think, in terms of talking with each other about things, but we also have a good TV time sort of situation going on as a family. We do a lot of sitting in the same room watching TV together and things like that.
Nice.
Yeah. Maybe that's why every time we do this show, I'm like, what TV shows have you watched?
Could be.
I connect with my family that way.
Watch a lot of shows.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's unhealthy. I think we still interact like a normal family does.
Sure, I'm not saying I do it in lieu of like having,
Yeah.
and I'm sure the same for you. You don't do it in place of like bonding. It's just one of the activities you like to do together. It's a hobby you all share.
Exactly.
It's television.
Television and movies. I do feel like I need to like bring that up because there are definitely families that do that sort of thing in lieu of.
Right. It fills the like silence because they can't speak to each other.
Yeah.
Comfortably.
Exactly. Yeah. Like we're not like that. I swear.
Happy. Happy to hear that.
I just realized I never saved the idle animation with a transparent background, so I gotta go fix that. For animation. Oh shit. You heard it too.
Yeah.
You're gonna hear it again. Ring.
There's somebody on TikTok that I'm sure I get annoyed fast, so that's why I'm not gonna do it. There's a guy on TikTok who replaced all his Windows sounds with like his own voice doing those noises, and it was very funny, and reminds me of like my like Windows 98 when I was a kid, messing with all the sounds and doing weird shit, changing the cursors all the time. But still, I was just like, that's funny.
Yeah. Super fun
That
stuff.
would entertain me for a minute, and then I would hate it.
I feel like there's mods for like Skyrim and shit like that where somebody just re-recorded all the sound effects with them making the sound effects with their mouth, and those are like those mods seem like they'd be fun to play for maybe a day.
Yeah.
And then I'd be like, okay, let's
eat them.
Yeah, let's get the fucking sounds back. Okay, we have a puppet.
Yeah. I want to see him play. You play him?
Okay. Let's let me see what I can do real quick. Hold on. Gonna take a moment.
All right. A moment I have.
Looking at some of the images posted up on the Discord.
You know, one of my favorite parts about DrawBomb is that I get to draw for fun. I don't do that so much anymore.
That's true.
And I should do it more. I have no excuse. You know, it's not like I don't have time to draw for myself. I just tend to reserve it for if I'm in the mood to draw. I'm going to do the stuff that I get paid for, but it's not as fulfilling. It's not as fun.
Yeah, I agree. Like
and right now I'm just like having fun, and I'm like looking at the thing I'm making, and I'm like, I like this, and I just don't get that. That used to be what I do all the time, and I don't do it as much anymore.
Yeah, I feel I have like friends who I see them just making fun drawings, like Lord Spew. Like he shares drawings that he just makes with like I'm in like a little Discord server with him and some other folks, and like he shares with us like these just like doodles he makes, throughout the day of like just random shit. Like they'll be cleaning, and he'll make like a little funny drawing of them like cleaning the house, and I'm like, man, I don't do any of that.
I used to do a lot more of it. I used to post like every day, and I've kind of fallen out of that. And I want to get back to it. I just
Yeah.
I'm not in that mode right now.
Easy.
I will definitely say I know it's cliche, but it's cliche because it's true. I mean, if you're trying to be an artist or you are an artist, if you draw every day, it definitely shows in your work.
Yes, it does. All right, check it out. This is a talking puppet. It's I gotta maybe up the frame rate of the talking mouths, and I'm gonna
Okay,
have
so
it.
one thing.
What?
It's a different color when he talks. I think maybe you have the brightness.
I did have
different.
the brightness slider turned down to 85 because I figured I don't want to have him bounce because that's gonna kind of fuck up the illusion. But if we're all sitting at the same like table, because we're gonna be sitting in like a picture, if the brightness goes down, then when we're not talking, that sort of does.
Okay.
That,
Actually,
yeah.
will look cool. I can see that. Okay.
Yeah, that's like the one situation where I think the brightness slider actually, like normally I wouldn't use I would use the bounce instead of the brightness, but I do feel like for that particular framing.
I can see that for sure.
We'll
Cool.
play it by ear
Looks
though,
good.
like, yeah, thank you. I'm probably gonna make the mouth move a little faster though.
I like the way you move that mouth.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Reduce the amount of frames.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about your weird ass.
It's a weird ass voice thing.
Just weird that it works so well.
I know. It's pretty strange. It's like it's not a voice changer anymore. It's just a different voice.
Yeah,
That's just a different one.
just a new voice. It's not a voice changer, it's a voice mask.
Basically, yeah.
I forgot to make him talk to the left and the right, so I gotta do that too.
Maybe you're just like mad at me in the game. You just stare at me and talk
Yeah.
to Matt.
I'm not talking to you. Also, I think add a little bit of bounce. More bounce to the ounce. More bounce to the ounce. More bounce to the ounce. Brandon, in your crazy robot voice,
Which crazy robot voice?
the narrator,
Like the okay, yeah. Oh, that one. Okay, yeah. Okay.
make it say tongue punch my fart box. Why not?
Why don't you tongue punch my foot box?
It's so weird because do you want to know how it? Because you can't hear it, but do you know what it? You want to know what it sounded like it was saying?
What?
It's like, can you tongue punch my foot box? That's how I said it.
I played a little. I acted a little bit. You know.
Okay. Did you say foot box?
No, I don't think I said furt.
Okay, that's kind of what it came like.
Not intentionally.
The voice is like, can you tongue punch my foot box? It's kind of what
I think there's like some of it you lose a little bit of it because it's like trying to. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes, but it's like has to actively change it over. You know.
yeah.
So in the same way that like if there's a robot voice that uses like speech to text, it kind of loses some.
Yeah. It's like if you type like some certain words, like the Speakonia voice would be like, how could you do dirt thing? Like it'll just like say a complete it'll pronounce, I can't think of any examples off the top of my head. But like if you typed like ha 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 into it, it'd be like you know, it wouldn't laugh.
It loses some details.
Yeah. If you type like it goes like
It does, and I'm glad that it does.
Me too. It's so charming. I'm not sure I could make a robot scream if I wanted to. When I was watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine, I would pretty frequently I wouldn't get as far in the show as fast as I was other shows because lately, because I've been working on the comic, I'm in like a writing stage of it. I can't like work on the comic and have TV on in the background like I normally can. I can't like write and pay attention to, like I don't even have music on when I'm writing.
Okay.
But I've been doing like the pencils and stuff, and that I've been just fine with, you know, like having TV. So like I've gotten a lot further in Brooklyn Nine-Nine because I've been doing a lot of the pencils of like the words that are already written down. That's it. That's the whole thing.
Okay.
I'm
That's
just watching a lot more of the show now because I'm in a different stage of the comic writing process than I've been able to.
That's fun that you can like kind of, you know, do something else while you're working.
Yeah. Only in very specific stages though, you know? It's gotta be very, like, again, writing, I can't even have music on if I'm writing. I used to, and I recently realized, like, nope. Music has to be off. I can't have songs on while I'm trying to write.
That's pretty interesting.
That's fascinating.
Oh, I see what happened here.
Oh snap. This talking Ian puppet might be super duper done, and then I just gotta do one for you and Matt. And my character. This one only took the whole show.
Looks great though.
Thank you. People are gonna look at it and then look at me and be like, that shit doesn't look like Ian.
I think it looks like you.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I tried.
Yeah, I think you did good.
Thank you. I feel like we also, as artists, have a tendency to like want to draw ourselves
For sure.
slightly more kempt than we generally are.
I tend to make myself look extra disgusting, I think.
Good. I know some folks who are like that. I know some folks who I'm just like, you definitely drew yourself as a hot person. Because that's, I mean, whatever, I'm not going to judge, but, I mean, look, we know you don't look like that. Yeah. Like, that ain't you. That's the version of you wish you were, and that's fine, I get it. But that ain't you.
That ain't you, bro. That ain't you.
That
That ain't
you.
me.
And then you get the rare instance where somebody draws themselves like a hottie, and then you see their actual photo, and you're like, oh shit, no, you have every right. Go ahead. You've been blessed with talent and looks.
No fair.
Yeah, what a jerk. On a slight bounce. More bounce.
That's what I'm trying to do for the arms.
Okay, this might be the talking animation now. Oh shit, I wonder if I ever took my fucking puppet. I never took the puppet off the screen. They've just been staring at a fucking puppet of me on the screen
That's good.
for a while now. Bounce to the ounce. You know, I'm glad I have more bounce to the ounce instead of whatever that fucking other song. I don't know any other parts to it. Okay, let's try updating this puppet. Okay, so the puppet's been updated. Let's see what the talking animation is like. Best. There we go. Yep, okay, that works actually, that works pretty well, I'd say. I like it a lot. It looks pretty dang good when he's talking. Like, especially if you imagine him at the table.
That's perfect. Good work.
Thank you. This is gonna be great. It's so funny, like when you see one puppet finished, you're like, this is gonna be fucking tops.
Yeah, this is gonna, you know, we'll see how smooth it runs, but it's gonna be fun at the very least.
I'm gonna have to make a whole new scene like collection in OBS for this. It's gonna be a process, but I'm excited.
Yeah, I think it'll be a little bit, as long as we keep working on it, it'll get done, but I don't know if it'll be like, it's not gonna be like next week.
Yeah.
You know?
We might make the next episode also a dedicated to.
I would love to. I'm enjoying
Okay
this.
with that? Yeah. A little bit more of a low-key episode for us. We're less like just shouting at the screen and each other, and you get to see more of like our actual process when we're not doing a show, which I think is unique in that like most of the show, like when we make the stuff we make on the show, I'd say is arguably very different than what we end up actually drawing on our own.
Yeah. Stuff I do on the show is closer to what I do on my own for like fun. But it's a lot like simpler and quicker. I tend to like always do a sketch first and all that normally.
Yeah.
More or less now. I try to like make my process quicker, especially when I'm drawing for myself. But overall, like, especially like commissioned work, I definitely like it's a lot slower going.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cleaner.
Because on the show, we have that pressure to make something quick enough for folks to like have a chance to actually like appreciate it, and so we can move on. So you know, the amount of time that like the time and care that we put into our at-home doodles isn't quite there.
Right. You want to have something that people can see like in the time they're here.
Which I think
Okay, so my guy's animated. I have to color his arms still, but I'm happy with the way it's looking.
Oh my god, that looks great. That's very fun. I think the sword was a good choice.
Yeah, I think so too.
It's gonna be interesting once we get all the working pieces together. It's gonna be.
It's gonna be a lot of moving pieces.
Yes. But if we can make it work, it'll be
I
great.
think we can. It may just take some tweaking.
Yeah, I think what we should do is when we do have the pieces together, we do need to do a test stream with Matt. Make sure that
100%.
Matt is.
I'm not gonna do it for the first try live.
Yeah, no. Although we did that for 2 Dicks on the Beat.
That's true. That's true. But it was a lot simpler of a
It was
setup.
Yeah. I've learned a lot since then too. I've learned a couple of lessons since then.
I'm gonna finish coloring these arms, and then I'm probably gonna take a break or
Good.
call it for the night,
Yeah.
or at least the stream portion.
Yeah, I think calling it for
I
the
might keep
stream.
working, but
Yeah, we'll play it by ear. If we get, I mean, if we end up getting more work done tonight, then that's, obviously it's better for us.
Yeah.
But however you want to do it.
making these puppets, I know they're simple, but it's totally like revitalized my like love for animation. I know you've been doing some animation before we got into this over the past like year or two.
Yeah,
but I just kind of like, we used to animate a lot when we were like, when we first met each other and like when we were younger.
Yeah.
When you had, when you didn't have a job and you could just like,
Yeah, as
do whatever you wanted with your
a zeal
time.
for life.
Exactly. It hadn't been beaten out of us yet.
Yeah.
So this has like been like, oh yeah, I remember doing this all the time and really enjoying it. This is fun.
Yeah.
And these GIFs, these like puppets are fun too because they're like simple enough that you can get some quality like stuff like actively moving in front of you in like a reasonable amount of time instead of spending like weeks
Yeah.
to get like just like a few like a minute,
Like you can actually
I don't know,
get
so it's
like
like-
something done in an hour and a half.
Exactly, yeah. It's satisfying my like need for instant stuff while also like having some cool, finished products.
It's these are the perfect animation projects for the microwave generation, am I right?
That's us. Oh, nice. I'm gonna go. Kyle said he shared what he's been working on.
Yeah, let's go take a look.
To
See.
draw along.
Oh yeah, Kyle's been doing some learning of art.
I love that.
Spent a long time trying to draw a better eye. Shrug, he says. Well, let's take a look. See. I'm gonna throw it up on the screen in just a moment. Gotta fucking get through a bunch of. Okay. There's the refrigerator. Let's take a closer look at the fridge. Why don't we? Kyle's working on an eyeball.
It's an able.
An eyeball. So yeah, it's looking like it looks like an eyeball to me.
Yeah, your proportions are looking right.
If he's trying to draw the second eyeball to the left of it, he's gonna have a fucking hell of a time, though. I gotta say that.
Right. You should flesh them out at an even rate if you are planning on continuing. But if you're just like focusing on one eye, then this was a good, good way to go
Yeah.
about it.
I wonder if I can make that fridge and keep us in the frame. I might tweak
We
it.
could always. Yeah, I feel like I didn't design it in the best way. I wasn't really.
No, I could have
about-
incorporated it into the current layout better. I just had the idea now. I'm like, why don't I just?
But I mean, even on our normal layout, I feel like it doesn't fit that well. It's just, I don't know. It's not like it was designed more as a vertical thing than a horizontal. Like when the window is horizontal, like widescreen format, it doesn't work very well with.
Yeah, it's also.
I feel like we need to adjust it or something.
I do need to put the drawings, like the thing needs to go more in the center first and foremost. Close up. Whoopsies, that's different. Close up could also be more in the center as well. That just wasn't centered properly, but I could make it so that when we do the close up as well as the actual fridge drawing, people should still do it.
But I'd be happy with changes. I'm not tied to this fridge drawing with any,
Fridge
feelings
drawings.
or nostalgia.
Bergeron's cute. I think it's just the you do not have to bring it up on stream. It's an eyeball. Oh, it's too late. Wish I'd read that first.
Well, it's
Sorry,
okay.
Kyle.
We have. I think Kyle's the only viewer right now, so it's all good.
Yeah.
We
No
will
one's
be
gonna-
forever, remembered in the annals of the VODs.
Right. And the YouTube channel. Which is freshly updated, so if folks ever want to check out any of the previous episodes, I've been keeping on top of it.
Yeah, I've
But-
been noticing that. Good work.
I assume it's better for the algorithm to post frequently, or at least weekly. You know, we were talking about the Beavis and Butthead movie recently. I think they're doing like a new TV series. Yeah.
They are. I did.
I guess
that,
I-
which I'm all for it.
Yeah, if the movie, the movie is good, and so the TV series, I'm like, I don't think I'm gonna get disappointed by it,
Yeah. It's easy. I don't want to say easy, like it's not good writing, but it's just, I feel like it's a pretty straightforward. That's a better word than easy. Concept, and as long as they don't
Yeah.
keep trying to like reinvent it and just keep doing that, I think it will just work forever. Pretty
Yeah,
much.
I agree. It's a pretty tried and true formula. It's really hard to go wrong with it, and it's a good like frame story to like sort of like, because they often use it to sort of poke fun at like modern culture and things like that, and it's a good frame story for exactly that. Why if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Classic phrase.
Yep.
Phrase I've never tried to change.
Nor should you.
That's right. But yeah, if it, like I guess when I was watching the movie, I didn't put it together that it was kind of like the backdoor promo for a new season of the show.
They're just trying to like, here's the prologue of how we got to this
Exactly.
time frame, and they're still kids.
Yeah, like they do say that in the beginning of the movie. They're just like, so we're gonna explain why we're still kids in the year 2022. I'm like, okay. And they do, and like the explanation is very easy, but like when they say that, I should have put together like, oh, of course this is for the new TV series. For some reason I was just like, the movie, they're doing the movie and then they're done, they're gonna drop it. But I'm okay with honestly another season of the TV series since the movie didn't fuck it up, bud.
Right.
You know what? Is it gonna be like on like HBO or
I
something?
think it's on Paramount. Paramount.
Okay.
That's where the movie was released. I think.
Right,
They have a
right,
deal
right.
with them.
I think I currently have a subscription to Paramount because Dad was watching the Tour de France.
Nice.
So I got a clip from House for Matt's video that I'm editing for him for just such an occasion.
That's why you subscribed for that clip.
That's right, to get that one clip of House.
Cost $7 or however much.
I don't know. It's cheap enough. Like, all these subscription services, it's such bullshit, but like, if it is only $5 for a month, then I have no problem just hopping around and like just picking the one that I want to watch for that month. And
Right. It's not that bad of a deal. The problem becomes if you have multiple ones. Then
Yeah.
then you're like going back to cable pricing because you're just like paying for combined.
Yeah. It's also annoying
thing.
because it used to be like if you wanted to find a movie, you just like look on Netflix and you could probably find it. And now it's like everything is like
Yeah,
fucking
They're all
scattered.
pulling their stuff so they can sell it on their own platforms. That is also a bummer. You're right.
Yeah. All right. This one drawing of you is pretty much done. In your face, at least.
Thanks for making a sexy version of me.
You're so welcome. You know what? When I look at this, you know what it reminds me of is all of like the human characters from Mike Tyson Mysteries. Like, let me pull up a human character from Mike Tyson Mysteries. They kind of look like this.
What does that mean? Because I was gonna say, like, isn't like some of the main characters human?
They are, but like, I mean, it's just that like all the characters, like side characters and stuff like that, are like drawn to look sort of like the Hanna-Barbera style, you know?
Right.
And this kind of reminds me of that. I'll see if I can find like a good example of like a side character.
It might be like the pupils. I mean, you gave him like eyelids and stuff, but those pupils are kind of.
It is the
I
pupils.
don't know if
I
that's
think.
what it is.
Like here's a. I think it's like just the face shape and the pupil. Like the pupils, like it's definitely.
Yeah.
That's all I've been going for lately.
Oh, I like the drawing of me though.
Why'd you
Looks like
it?
me, I think.
I hope it does.
Which is the main goal. I was thinking I might start just as like a practice, just start drawing faces, like real faces, like maybe like 1 or 2 a day, just to try to hone in on my like likenesses.
Yeah, you know what? I've been doing some likenesses here and there occasionally. Like oftentimes when like for the dueling drawing requests, like sometimes they'd be like, draw Danny DeVito doing this, or draw Betty White as the Crypt Keeper, and so like I would draw those, and like I wasn't mad at like my Betty White. Looks pretty decent. Like here, I'll see if I can find my Betty White. But like a couple of like the celebrity drawing, or like the drawings of like celebrities and stuff like that I did, I was like not mad about. And normally that's something I feel
awesome.
very self-conscious about.
Yeah. It's hard, you know, because if you're drawing something organic or unique, like no one can be like, well, that doesn't look right.
Yeah.
But if it's somebody's face, everyone knows what that's supposed to look like, and that's makes it a lot more harder.
Yeah. This one's supposed to be Robert De Niro.
Nail it a lot better.
This one's supposed to be Robert De Niro and Billy Crystal.
Where are you posting these?
I'm just putting them up on my screen, but.
That's. I mean, I agree. I mean, it has qualities of both their faces, so.
It's supposed to be them in the Matrix.
Got the Billy Crystal. The head shape is right.
Well,
both of them. And then Robert De Niro's nose.
Yeah, I've been finding like, what I do is when I look at like a person I'm gonna draw, I think about like, what am I looking at in the face that makes me think of them, you know?
Right. Kind of like a caricature like style. Like they usually intensify those things, but still, you're looking for like the unique, what makes their face unique, you know?
Yeah. And which is hard to like think of sometimes, but
for sure.
Man, I don't know if I saved JPEG of her.
Do I look like I know what a JPEG is?
Damn it, Bobby. Oh no, I don't know if I saved my. I bet I can find it on the Ding Dang Discord. What's this drawing right here?
I've just been scooting all my stuff around instead of recoloring.
These are the Wet Bandits.
For the oh no, are they killing a kid on the left?
That's me. They're stabbing me.
Oh, okay, good. That's Macaulay Culkin.
Fuck, come on, I haven't even begun to set up the Ding Dang paint cans yet.
I mean, I know I'm kind of going on a tangent here now, but the kid goes home and he starts eating mac and cheese, and then like an alarm clock goes off and he's like, all right, better get to work on setting up my shit. And it's like, you eat mac and cheese after you set up the booby traps. You know they're coming.
Yeah. This ain't time to dilly-dally.
Oh, wait, I think I got that wrong.
Doesn't he?
He might eat the mac and cheese after he's done setting up, and then I might be wrong.
This is Betty
If we have
White.
any Home Alone historians here.
Yeah, Home Alone aficionados.
That's a good. I like that you. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So like, I like that you kind of like exaggerated her head shape, but also it is her head shape. So like, it looks like her. You know.
But yeah, and this is
good.
This is Sean had dropped his pen, like his tablet pen, into his coffee, and it was not working.
Oh no.
So this is like her.
Oh, that's tragic.
Yeah, this is before she passed away too, but But yeah, I've been trying to I can't remember who else I did off the top of my head, but I've been doing like the occasional caricature, and I'm not like mad about them.
Good. That's great. I like to hear that. I've been doing a lot of them on the show from time to time, and I've been happier with them than I have been in the past. So I too feel like I'm getting there. But the issue that I often have, which I think can be solved with what you were talking about, where you focus on certain features and like exaggerating them a little, is as I try to hone in on accuracy, I lose my style.
Right.
And that's a trick, is keeping your style while also making it look like something.
That's something
recognizable.
That's something I've been struggling with in general with my like style. Like I've been losing sort of my sense of like what my art style is, because I've been drawing things more realistic, and I do enjoy drawing them that way, but also I just feel like I've been losing like what I feel like my style, quote unquote, is. Like I feel myself getting all like it's not like I'm like actively thinking like, oh, this doesn't look like my style. Like my style is gonna be wherever I land
style's
on
fluid.
the drawing. Yeah, but it's, for me, it's like I feel so rigid, and like that's where I start to feel like I'm losing the style. Is like if I'm feeling rigid and like my drawings feel like I'm like constantly questioning every decision I'm making, then I'm not, you know, drawing my like I would draw. Then I'm starting to like kind of like overthink and all that stuff, and that's where I start
a personal
to, like,
style is kind of like having your own visual language of sorts while also being comfortable there.
Yes.
So yeah, once you're like you keep pushing yourself further out of it to try to hone something in, and it gets uncomfortable, and yeah, it doesn't feel like yours or something. I don't know how to describe it, but I feel like you kind of just described it perfect.
I talked to Lee Thompson, who did the festival in Philly that I went to recently, and he said that he would like to see me draw bad. Like I should try not drawing good for a while. And I agree, actually. I feel like if it's because I get so bogged down trying to make drawings look good. But like when we do like Scribble or like Jackbox and things like that, I end up drawing a lot of drawings that I'm very happy with.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because
you gotta just like go with your gut and not go with how you think it should look.
Exactly. And I have a hard time I've been having a harder time not going with my gut lately. Although I am actually very happy with the results of these particular drawings for the puppets that I'm working on.
Yeah, I like them a lot too.
Like these I'm actually pretty okay with. But you know, I do feel
that
rigidity.
It's good to... Yeah. I think being aware helps a lot. Yeah. Being aware of what you're trying to do and where you're going, and you know if you're straying away or not. In a degree,
I feel like a lot of the issue comes from being too aware. Like I've almost got like the yips.
That's true too.
But for art,
that's very real. Yeah, it's a tough needle to thread, I feel like.
That's the thing that a lot of people, when they think about art, they think like it's just like make your hand go where you want it to go. But like it's like so much of the art is the mental, like the puzzle solving, the decision making process is so much like a part of the art.
Right. Like a lot of it is like the picture you have in your head versus what's on the paper.
Yeah.
Like like having the control over your hand, that's something to learn too. But once you got that down, now it's all trying to think of good stuff.
Like that picture you have in your head is not a concrete image you have in your head. It's actually like your brain has like parts of it, and then it's filling in the rest of the gaps. So when you try and like draw that image out, you're sort of guessing sort of like what those gaps are, and that's where the creative decision making process comes in. Right. And that's the hard part. Is making the right decisions so that image in your head is a reality, or at least as close to as you can get.
Right. Yeah, for sure. I got my idle animation done.
I love it.
Thanks.
And you have the armless version as well.
Right. I mean, I can just turn the arms off.
Yeah.
I haven't saved any of these yet, but
yeah. But we have both versions of the idle now, so in the actual stream, when we have that guy on, if you're like, I'm gonna draw arms on my guy now, I can just press the button and it'll...
I was actually gonna make his sword tilt a little bit outward when his arms move, but I might just leave it the way it is. I think it looks fine.
I think it looks great. I don't think you need to make any changes.
I don't need to put any more effort into that just because it's good.
Yeah.
Instead of just tweaking the same thing over and over. The time crunch kind of helped us with two dicks on the beat. We're like, all right, good enough.
Yeah.
Next thing.
I just
like, how much time we got? We got 2 hours till we're supposed to be live. And I'm like, fuck, okay. I got 3 more characters to draw.
Yeah, it really made us just fucking make choices and move on.
Yeah. Now I just have to do a talking animation for him. But I think might do that at a later time.
Yeah, that's fine.
If you want to continue streaming, you can, but I believe I am going to go.
Oh, no, I think that's fine. I mean, this is a episode where we're working on the stuff together. We've gone an hour over, just, an extra special episode for folks as we prepare for an extra special episode. I guess we should do the thing we normally do when we end an episode, right? Like, should we do that real quick?
Sure.
Like a condensed version of it?
Brandon. No. I don't have anything to plug.
Okay.
Sorry.
It's okay.
I know it's disappointing.
A little sad.
I'm gonna be doing a DnD episode of DrawBomb soon, once these things are complete.
Look forward to
it. Yeesh, what to plug? I don't know. Follow us. We've been playing a lot more games, like
Which?
Off the normal amount of time, or the normal hours that we're on air.
Yeah.
So like, you'll miss that stuff if you're not following us. So
we just did Escape Academy, which is basically like a bunch of escape rooms, the game.
It was pretty fun.
We fucking crushed it.
We did. Barely called an escape. We walked out of there.
Yeah, dude, we were like, fuck it.
Rolled out.
Call us escape room, bruh. Like, goofy.
Ian, do you have anything to plug?
No. I don't.
Oh, good.
I mean, I guess
that
the
makes
album,
me feel better.
The fucking video of you, that's about it.
Yeah. Follow, or go to our YouTube.
We got shit on there.
Quality stuff there, and there will be more soon. We're putting more, a little more focus on that. I mean,
yeah.
Not that you ever had any, you've been doing that for a while, but we're trying to add some other stuff besides the episodes.
I took like a year-long break from updating the channel.
Social media sucks. I don't blame you.
Hard as hell. But yeah, we have that video of you playing Resident Evil 4 in VR, which, I like. I like the video.
I love it. It's great. It's fantastic.
It's fantastic. Check it out. This puppet of you is the first frame. People can't see it on this current screen.
They can't see
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh well.
And I've been watching your stuff through the show, so I actually didn't see it either.
Well, either way, what a great episode this has been, even despite all the technical difficulties I couldn't be asked to sort out.
It wasn't that. I would say that was like the first 5 seconds, and then we were good to go. Oh, I guess the getting punched in the face, but you did sort that out.
Yeah, that was just a matter of Mix It Up being an annoying program to work with.
Yeah. But I think that was a pretty good one in the books, and I got my little idle animation done. That was the goal. So
you sure did. Folks, thank you so much for being here. Look forward to this D&D stream when it happens. It's going to be a lot of fun, I think.
Yeah, I think so too.
And we'll catch you all on the flippity floppity flu. Bye.
So long.
Farewell. Auf Wiedersehen. Guten Tag. That's more German. Aloha. Ciao.